And we are live! Hi, everybody. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Is everything good?
Hell.
Let us know. I just popped in some new parts for my computer, so you'll have to let me know if there's any issues with technicals.
Elio's been tinkering.
I've been tinkering, which, causes... We can see that you're a bit quiet. Okay, cool. Is Naniri quiet too, or just me? Let me say hello to my... Daniel, good to see you, glad to have you. Ray, good to see you, glad to have you. We wanted to put this yeah, hype for over a year because I accidentally put it as 2024 to begin with, rather than 2023. Why are we killing David Bowie? Also, he's already dead. Now I'm sad. Aww. Well, because the Emperor is strong Labyrinth David Bowie energy. How are you guys doing? I've been watching Air Disasters Made It Work. I'm doing okay, Daniel. You doing good? Ground control to Major Tom. Oh god, now you're all singing. Oh god, they're just singing David Bowie songs now. Did you ever hear the version made by the... I'm sorry, go ahead, what?
Which I respect.
Yeah. Was brought up. That's awesome. Tracy, good to see you, glad to have you. Are we really waiting a year? No. Sit back and relax, 8,760 hours. Did you, or 525,600 minutes. Guess how I know that.
I'm a rent hater.
I'm not surprised. But I want to go to FanFest. Year's worth of snacks, fill the whole room. Sarah, good to see you, glad to have you. Blink, good to see you, glad to have you. Oh, it's you. And you have a small amount of booze. Clockwork, good to see you, glad to have you. Des, good to see you, glad to have you. Am I still quiet? Atelier, good to see you, glad to have you. But I'm still also finishing FF2 Pixel Remaster my Felvis. Should have come listen to the finale. There you go. Yeah, boy times flies. Yeah, we're already in 2024, don't you know? Well, I don't have alcohol, but I do have root beer, so close enough.
I got a bottle of, Bellini and a bottle of cider.
I love how schwasty you get.
I like to have a little bit.
Okay. And also, stream health good, guys? For some reason, it's telling me that it's not, but the output's saying it's correct. Is it that everything's good? FF2. Okay, so, Naniri, would you like to tell the folks where we were last time?
Yeah, sure. So we, with our good Dragoon friend, we essentially went into the Emperor's Palace and beat him up a bit, roughed him up. Well, actually, we kind of more roughed up his guards. And then the Emperor went all magic-y, and we went into the Tower of Mysidia somewhere as well. And now we're here to kill the Emperor in his supernatural form.
Well, there we go. And now we're all
there you go.
Okie dokie doke. Jade Passage. We were... Help me see a castle. Go to Paul's house, Flynn, talk to him. We did that. Boat over to Poft to grab the airship. Oh, right, we have to go to Poft.
Oh, yeah, Sid died. I gave us his car keys.
That happened. Did Sid ever die in any of the others? I know he almost... It seems like he dies in 4, but he doesn't actually die, right? Or does he actually eat himself off the airship? I know I remember he eats... God, it's been so long.
Yeah, no, Sid dies because his daughter is the is it his daughter? Oh, it's one of his proteges is a carry-on for the next game.
Oh right, I haven't played the Afternoons in a long. I don't even know I actually finished the Afternoons.
I was thinking we're gonna play it for this one. I feel like it's essential for 4.
I think you're right, and I'm also wondering if there might be some references in. Oh, Sid dies in 6. Yeah, right. Still a little quiet compared. Testing. I'm still quiet compared to Naniri, but the blue ember's coming out. Well, I'm just gonna keep pumping it up. Tell me if I'm like peaking and sounding like a Garbo monster.
You could never be a Garbo monster.
Oh, thank you. Wait, I see that Poft is blue. Does that mean that it was supposed to be our location that we were going to? Because now I'm worried. 13.
That's a good question.
Oh, right. I forgot about Sid in 13 because he's there for all of like 5 seconds.
Oh, I said, can't you save Sid in 6? Isn't it possible to have him be alive?
Is that one of those internet rumors, or is that what actually the story?
I feel like you can, but I'm sure chat will enlighten us on that.
Yeah, and I mean, he dies in 12, doesn't he? Because he's Voltier's father. Yeah, Sarah says Sid dies in 12. Yeah, I guess it's the thing that Sid dies a lot. I guess I'm so used to like thinking about 10 Sid, Yuna's uncle, that I'm like, Sid doesn't die, and 14 Sid doesn't die. Yeah.
7 Sid doesn't die, although you do beat him up in one of the prequel games.
Oh, he'll one day die of old age.
One day. He like fucks Hydaelyn in 8, right?
What?
Yeah,
oh,
he's
Sid does.
Husband.
I thought you meant Sid from 7 somehow went into 8. And
Maybe. Maybe Gilgamesh helped out with that. Oh, you can
Gilgamesh
save
does
him
seem like. Oh yeah, okay, so it's not an internet rumor, dude. So Gilgamesh doing though that seems he seems wingman-y. I buy it.
Sort of ineptly wingman-y, yeah.
True, but as long as he's getting you to the other dimension, look, it's like that friend who's not good at getting you talking to the other girls, but he's got the car, he's driving you to the bar, you know.
Are there any games in which Sid does not fuck?
Do you mean at all conceptually? Also, sorry guys, you're gonna see my stuff for a second as I try to.
No, I mean like actually.
Well, it doesn't fucking 10.
You don't think he's got someone out there? He's got.
Well, I mean, he does have a whole airship. He like owns an airship, so he's probably got someone.
Yeah, that's true.
Wait a second, is Sid Riku's Yuna's cousin?
Uncle.
Is Sid Riku's father?
Yes, Sid's Riku's father and Yuna's uncle.
Right, so he must fuck.
Yeah, he's fucks. I think Sid fucks in every game.
I have questions about your convictions, but okay.
No, this is a hill I'm gonna die on.
That's our new like barometer. We're gonna test that as we go through the entire one. I mean, we did find him in a bar in this game, so like where a dancer was. So are we now?
Oh, this Sid definitely fun. Like the vibes are there.
So are you pitching that what got him was not in fact battle wound, probably a venereal disease?
A bit of both. You know, the venereal disease like weakened him.
Sure didn't help.
No, it didn't help. I think Sid 12 definitely fucks. Oh yeah, he's Balthia's father.
Right. I mean, like that's the thing is that like a like a reoccurring thing I feel like is Sid has a child.
Yeah.
Which ones does Sid does not have a child? Sid had a wife in 7, right?
Yes, he does. Yeah, she's sort of long suffering.
Yeah. Well,
do you think Sid in 14 does?
No, because when would he have? He might have had like I mean, one his only sweetheart's Nero and or his match tech, but.
Oh yeah, he had sex with Nero. Okay, all right.
I did. It's not what I said.
Well, but he does.
Gay! Okay, Palamisha Castle, which is in the desert. Oh, that's Kashuin. You think I'd remember that? Kashuin. That sounds familiar. Did they use that at all in... Oh, right, because this is where we fought. Yeah, did that come up in 14 at all?
Kashwan, I don't think so.
Am I supposed to, like, just drop...
It's a server.
Oh, I am supposed to literally drop one on it. Oh, it's a server, that's why I heard of it. I'm the old FF guru. Rub my belly for knowledge. Almighty Atelier, do tell us. Do the SIDS fuck? Okay, while we inevitably fight a large horse of monsters as we go along doing this, would you care to share your... Oh, did you know that the Ultima and OG FF2 was bugged? I mean, what things weren't bugged in some of the original FFs? To some capacity.
I'm not surprised.
Oh, do we have a... Nope. Did it literally just hitch for like... Oh, I'm streaming this too.
No.
Right?
Yeah, you are. No, we fell down a hole, I think, right?
Yeah, no, it literally just for a second there, it like hitched. It wouldn't load for a second, like it paused us, and I'm like, how can my computer be struggling to load in FF2?
Well, as someone who's been playing a lot of like old Fallout lately, old games aren't always safe from these things.
Well, I mean, like, I bet you if I tried to run FF1, somehow it would still only get like 30 FPS.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Software is crazy.
When is the first time that we get any kind of access to an interesting leveling system in Final Fantasy?
I feel like Final Fantasy III's leveling system with the switching between classes is mildly interesting.
Yeah,
but besides
I
that,
guess...
I mean, 5
like,
is the same as 3.
Right. I guess like the jobs. I guess I think of like the job system. Like if you consider the leveling of stats in this as separate to leveling, as like you have leveling and that mechanic, that's more interesting than 1. 3, you've got the jobs. 4, you really just kind of go back to just straight leveling.
Yeah,
5
you
goes
kind
back
of
to
just straight
3.
level. Yeah. I think you
But
get
like I feel like. Sorry, go ahead.
Well, 6 has like. Do you count like blue magic spell gathering as leveling?
I mean, how early can you do it?
Gao. No, wait, not Gao. Yes, Gao, and also. Oh, yeah, Umaro, the Yeti. There's 2 blue mages.
Right. Because it's more about like the broadly like what's the effect. So like 7, you don't have that interesting of a level system, but you at least have materia. So like
yeah, but I feel like
that's.
I feel like materia is as separate as like 2's buying magic is.
Sure.
So what about 8?
Junction system, which is great idea, maybe not the best execution.
Yeah. It is the first really profoundly interesting one. 12.
I think Sphere Grid's interesting. I think.
I think so. I like the Sphere Grid. I like it. As a Dragon Quest player, I like Sphere Grid.
Okay, but you know what? Here's the thing. I will defend the Sphere Grid to my dying day. I think the Sphere Grid's a really good system. I wish I had a little bit more adventurousness to it. But I mean, the license board is kind of just like the Sphere Grid. It's just squares instead of circles. You know? Like, you still...
Yeah.
You can't, like, just go all over. You still kind of have to, like, start from certain points and connect into different points. Which is the same limitation the Sphere Grid has.
Wait, license board? License board from...
12.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, I guess so. I guess
know?
12 has all the interesting mechanics in it, right? I don't feel like 13's is particularly interesting.
Worse Sphere Grid. The problem with the 13 is there's literally no choices to make. It's just linear, basically, really. And so it literally is just less interesting Sphere Grid.
Maybe, obviously this isn't like the original game, but 7 remakes weapon leveling system is interesting.
Oh yeah. Okay, they say I'm out of sync, so I'm gonna fix my... You guys let me know if it gets worse or better, okay?
How
every time I restart my audio, it makes it it delays and puts me out of sync a little bit.
Okay.
Sorry, go ahead.
When we get to like 7, 9, 10, 12, how 100% are we going?
We're not, I mean, unless we want to be doing them for the better part of a year, we're not doing ultimate weapons for 10, except for the easy ones, maybe.
Fair.
Although, the reality is, unless we're super sure we're going to fight penance, like, I mean, I guess the question is, Naneri, do you want to be doing this for the next decade? Because if so, we're only doing one a day, and if we try to do super bosses, we're never going to get there.
Okay,
Unless,
fair.
I guess, I could just farm off stream and get us so powerful it doesn't matter, but...
I mean, you could. So I feel like, yes, I want to be doing this for the next 10 years, but we can move on to other game series. So, like, we don't need to be doing this for that long, right?
Yeah.
We should do the meaningful content. Like, yeah. Like, if there's lore content behind it, like, we don't need to fight Ismat, or whatever it's called, in 12, and be there for 20 hours fighting that. But I feel like I'd like to do, some of the more fun, I forget what they're called, like the bounty board stuff in 13, and some of the additional stuff in 9.
I'm happy to do it. I mean, the thing is, if we ever get to the point where you have the time, we can even throw in another day, and we can get through a lot of that stuff faster. And again, if with the later ones especially, I'll actually enjoy grinding in... When do I start enjoying grinding in these games? Pretty much when they start getting 3D. So... Yeah. I won't mind doing that off screen.
I feel like the first game that really hits on its grinding is probably 10 to me.
Mm-hmm. I think I would agree with that, yep.
Like, there's some stuff in 7 that's interesting, and 9 as well. But yeah, probably... The one that really rewards you for it is probably 12.
Yeah, well, 12 is also... So, 10 and 12 are both interesting because there's a lot of good items and the spheres. But then, 12, you also have, the chain bonuses and stuff. The thing is that 12 is such an offline MMO that it really... Yeah.
Yeah, I was just about to say 12 is, an offline MMO.
I remember realizing that when I came back. I played it as a kid, I was like, this always feels kind of weird. I like it, but it's weird, and I don't understand why. And it was two things. One of it was understanding that the plot was in a 5-act structure, not a 3-act structure, and the other is that it's an offline MMO.
Yeah, so, the 5-act structure is a really interesting one. I really quite like, non-conventional or non-Western story structures. I got a bunch of my friends to watch The Wailing, that Korean horror film, with me, which is extremely unconventionally structured from a Western standpoint. And it took a while. When we first watched it, they were like, "That was okay," and then 20 minutes to an hour later, they were like, "Wow, that was really good." They had to sink in for a bit.
Yeah. That's the thing, is you have to let yourself be willing to engage with those things on their level, and then you'll realize you can really begin to enjoy them. But if you only have your preconceived, and not even conceptions, but just preconceived enjoyment of norms, then it becomes very hard. Because you're like, well, this is bad because it's doing things wrong, and it feels weird that it's doing things wrong. It's like, no, just let it do its thing.
Yes.
Okay. Sarah, is my audio a little bit better? Am I now in sync? Daniel, I don't know. I like the simple leveling systems. I ended up quitting Xenosaga because I didn't know what stats needed to upgrade to have viable build. But okay, so there's a few things I would say to that. One of which is I can't stand games that just don't have interesting leveling systems because it's boring. Because there's nothing to engage with half the time unless the combat is particularly engaging. Beyond that, I would also say that in solo JRPGs, you very, very rarely need to worry about having a build. Like a perfect build. And if you do, unless the game does a good job teaching you to it's doing, I think the game, that's on the game, rather than the fundamental of having interesting leveling mechanics. But if I'm not gaining power in interesting ways, if I could have just turned on hyperspeed mode and walked back and forth, and done absolutely nothing without engaging with, oh, should I choose this? Should I choose that? Should I upgrade this? What do I want? Do I want to prioritize getting more? Then it's, I don't know. This is part of why it's a big reason that the earlier Final Fantasies aren't as interesting to me, at least from a gameplay standpoint.
Right. So not to harp on Dragon Quest again, but So there's pretty much always an optimal way to build a character in Dragon Quest, but although the other ones might be suboptimal, they're usually more interesting. Like, for example, you can build a thief character to be knife or sword oriented, and it's usually dual sword that's the better one, or you can build them to be boomerang oriented, and like that's just more cool to me. Or you can have a character be like essentially a bard instead of like a traditional healer, or a martial artist instead of like a spearman, and like I just feel like those non-conventional ones are much more interesting.
Well, and like I guess to me the thing is in a single player RPG, like BIS doesn't matter. Like even way more than like an MMO, BIS does not like matter because it's can you clear a fight, yes or no, then you're fine. Go choose the one that's fun. It does not. There's no difference between clearing that fight in 15 turns and 20 turns. No one's waiting on you. No one's expecting it. Like you can just do whatever you want and have fun with it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, in modern day 14, there's not much build that you can go wrong with, really, unless you're doing some really crazy shit, like doing that stupid no glass stone thing that people do sometimes. Or like
which is fine to do and hilarious as long as you don't forcibly make other people join in on you doing it who don't want to be doing it.
Right,
like,
exactly.
The amount of people who just like queue. Some people queue because they get into Brave Flocks and they forget. That's fine. But some people intentionally are like, oh, I want to do this, and I'm hopping into the. Oh my god, are we fighting the shadow of David Bowie?
Yeah. Oh, don't get me started on ice mages as well.
All right, real quick. You had to go to the DMV in 12 every time you wanted to level up with this license board. Also, shameless plug for those here, but we have a PvP event tonight. Just added a Gwib farm as well. Sign up at the Discord. Thank you, V. Thank you for the links.
So yeah, have you ever been in a dungeon with an ice mage before?
I feel like this is the setup to a raunchy joke, but I have no idea where this is going.
No, it's a real thing. It's black mage players that only want to use ice spells, and they only use ice spells.
What? What? That's not a thing.
It is a thing, but not like in like endgame
How
content. But people do it in other dungeons and stuff.
Why? Why ice?
I don't know. I guess they vibe on it. I've also seen pure fire mages who don't want to use the MP regeneration of ice and stuff.
And you're sure that these aren't people who just don't know how to play the job, right?
No, I've seen arguments about it in party chat.
Are they RPing? What is going on?
Yeah, they might be RPing. I mean, back in the day, like this kind of it was more possible to go wrong with a build because you could have a healer who didn't have Swift Cast, which was a nightmare. Like you kind of have to have Swift Cast. You have to have like Dragoon skills if you're playing another DPS skill.
I cannot fathom why. Yeah, maybe ice mages just don't want to lose MP. Must have max MP at all times. Ice is nice. I think it's a WoW thing. It's a WoW. Wait, it's a WoW thing?
Well, like migrating WoW players. I guess that could make sense. Like trying to play an ice mage. But like, here's a question, Elliot. Do you and chat as well? Chime in. Do you think that 14 would benefit from having a spec tree system?
Fuck no. Fuck no. Fuck no. Hell no.
Just from a balance standpoint?
Really. Okay, so here's the spec tree standpoint. You have a role. It's called tank. Your specs are Gunbreaker, Dark Knight, Warrior, and Paladin. Like, that's my argument. Is that in this game, like, it would be terrible from a balance standpoint. Because what would happen is there would be an optimal paladin that did more damage than the healer support paladin, and everyone would be like, oh, you're bringing this to healer support one, you're griefing, even if it made a lot of sense to bring it for like prog or other things. Like, it's look, there are games where it works. 14, it would be terrible. It would, again, I want to be very clear. If your response to that is, well, I think it would be really fun, it may be for you, and I believe you, but on a mass level for the game, it would be terrible. It'd be bad for the balance. It would be bad for, like, it would cause a lot more contention. around what people would choose and to bring in why. And the thing is that if you think, oh, well, they would be equal, or, oh, there would be, you know, or you could just bring whatever you want. It's no, that's not how MMO players work. There will always be a best. There's a reason BIS currently exists, right? And it's not just, oh, you go get your gear from Abyssos. No, you instead get your chest from Abyssos, your tombstone gear from here. Like, you create, yeah, it would, yeah. WoW already proved it doesn't work. Yeah, like the thing is that WoW's a fucking mess.
In WoW, I mean, it doesn't work well in WoW, but it works.
It works. It's just a mess, and my umbrage is towards having it be a mess. So like, WoW is it functions, you know?
Yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, I think it would
I'm
be a
not saying
trade-off.
WoW isn't.
I don't think it would be
Right.
a good idea because, like you said, it would fuck up the balance entirely, especially with this many classes. But also, it would be cool.
It would be cool. I'm not saying it wouldn't be cool. I'm not saying it couldn't be fun. I'm just saying for the long-term health of the game, I think it'd be terrible. I think here's what you could do. Make it so every job can fit 2 roles. So imagine there's a paladin healer role and a paladin tank role. So that what you're doing is you're balancing the paladin healer role against all the other healers rather than a spec within the tank role that's split one way towards healing, one way towards like mitigation or damage, right? Instead of having Ret and Holy both under tank, you'd have a Holy Paladin for 14 in healer and a tank paladin in retribution, whatever you want to call it, right?
Yeah, I mean, some classes already do that, right? Like, you know, like Druids, well, kind of already does that. It covers all 3 and then 2 on DPS, but like...
Right. Well, that was kind of what my idea was coming from WoW, is that, for instance, you know, if you're playing a Holy Paladin, you can just play a healer rather than... Right. You know, or at least at certain points in time. This is not always... This is... The level to which it's true of the past couple expansions I'm less aware of. But the thing is that then you're basically asking Square to take every job and double the amount of jobs there are effectively, because you're asking them to have a balanced version of every job times 2.
Yeah, it never would have worked. It wouldn't work now. Maybe on launch.
Yeah, I'm also much more of the mind. I much prefer the game where it's like, let me play my job that is like a concentrated specific thing. I don't want choice in my job. I want to perfect my job.
Okay.
You know? And if I want a different experience, I'll play a different job. If I want a different, you know, spec on the experience of tanking, I'll go play Gunbreaker. Right. Am I out of line? Let me see what people say. Des says absolutely not. V's with me. Preach. Well, already proved doesn't work. People would just be more min-maxing with specs. Yeah, choice is an illusion with that. Yeah. If there's the problem is in an MMO, if there's meaningful BIS and you kind of impossible to avoid that, people will min-max it. And the problem is even if, I mean, look at the way people, you know, complain about the difference between some of the range DPS. Even though that we're talking about like 1 to 2% at most, and everybody's clearing regardless. You know, with 14's balanced, we are spoiled in terms of how close the 14 balance is compared to most MMOs, and people still complain about it.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. That's definitely true. But I think that's sort of a sign of either way people are going to feel that way. Like, if they don't have a spec to dump on, they're just going to find a class that's barely any different to dump on.
Sure, but I guess the difference to me is that, like, people like me are able to look at it and be like, oh, but wait, these are so close it effectively really doesn't matter, and I'm really glad to have a game where I feel like I can play any job and it's viable. Whereas, you know, I mean, you played WoW, you know that you came in with certain specs at certain times, and people will be like, no, you're not running this dungeon with us.
Certain toxic people, yeah.
As a warrior, as someone who played a warrior, quite a bit in WoW, I can tell you.
I used to play warrior a bit as well. I mean, my main was monk, but like, well, before monk it was priest, but yeah.
For me, it was warrior, then paladin.
That's it. That fits.
I did play
you.
Death Knight.
You're such a warrior.
Yeah,
such a paladin.
See, if you had started with "you're such a paladin player," I would have been like, "Oh, that's such a compliment." But when you be like, "You're such a warrior player," that's somehow that even.
It
Stop
just the
calling me a
slip of the
warrior
tongue,
player.
it was the slip of the tongue.
You're so cruel.
Hey, I used to play warrior a little bit. I had a warrior character. I used to play the one
I
that
like
went
playing
spinny.
warrior.
Rage? Yeah, Rage.
But
Is that the spinny one?
yeah, Rage is good. It's been so I forget which one's which now.
Yeah, me too. And people keep telling me, like, my old WoW friends, who I'm still very close with, keep telling me, like, oh, Dragonflight's so good. I'm like, I'm not going back to the Cosby Room Company. No, not for a good few years, thank you.
Yeah. No, I'm glad for them that Dragonflight seems to be good, yet they're also, now there's new issues again with the work from home stuff going on right now, and I'm just standing back and letting Blizzard see. We'll see what the next decade brings for them.
Blizzard's got another 5, 6, 7, 8 years before I start to play their games again.
Yeah.
Which I was like the Blizzard player. I was like, anything Blizzard brings out, I will play to death.
Oh yeah. The last time I remember that being true was, I think, Overwatch launch.
Yeah, I played the shit out of Overwatch, and then like after like 4 or 5 months, I just never played it again. I was like, wow, this sucks actually.
Were you a Mercy main?
Yes.
Fucking called it. Oh.
And then I tried to play what's Pharaoh's mom?
Oh, Anna?
Yeah, Anna, but I was not good enough, so I went back to Mercy.
I mean, just literal snipe healer.
Yeah, really hard. So I went back to Mercy, and I used to like flying around and stuff, and I don't know, doing that.
Good time. Oh, you want to play a Feral Druid? Why don't you play a Moonkin? They're all better DPS specs. Yeah. I do wonder what they could do if they decided not to raise level cap above 100. You still need people to feel like they are acquiring new power. Yeah, so I the thing is that they've said, you should be said recently, right, that that they may not be, because they're like, it seems kind of like, not just pointless, but going overboard at that. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some kind of mastery system, horizontal progression, or, all like something like Guild Wars 2, which isn't super in their wheelhouse historically, but I can imagine. I can imagine a couple of things.
Guild Wars 2 is just specs.
I mean, here's the thing. If they got to an expansion where they said, hey, we're not increasing the level cap, but we are going to add a spec for each thing that's like makes it a different role, so like imagine you've got your tank spec for the tank healer thing I was talking about, right? Then maybe that could count, but then that's still not even really like, oh, you got new abilities. Yeah, I don't know. And I think that'd be too much work for them.
Here's my position. I don't feel like I need to progress that much in power. I don't feel like I need the big new class abilities every expansion. I feel like 14 provides enough fuel other than that for me.
Yeah. I think that's reasonable, and I would tend to agree if it weren't for the fact that I think having unsync in this game is really healthy for the people who don't do current content. And once you make plateaus power, you make it so someone who plays regularly, like we're doing whip farms, right? And the reason part of the reason that people can do it without stressing too much is because unsyncing exists.
And it's really useful for like doing low content as well.
Oh my god, yeah. The amount that like I use unsyncing and explore mode and stuff for more content.
Constantly. I mean, there has to be something.
Yeah,
there has to be something, but it can be small.
Yeah. Oh, V, you like that idea about the rules? By the way, I've been sticking with the classic Famicom soundtrack for this game on my playthrough, but the Pixel Remaster OST so far sounds exceptionally well. Yeah, I mean, look, the Pixel Remaster is great. I'm the weirdo who I prefer the remake graphics and the remake on pretty much everything, actually.
I like them both.
Yeah, V, it was not just toxic people. I was gonna say, it wasn't just toxic people who would like enforce that or be like, hey, I'm not taking you. Like, I know good people who are like, hey, could you switch your spec, please? Like would still like ask that, even doing it politely, but would try
I feel like that's kind of a red flag. I mean, no, I don't want to pass judgment on people that you know what I mean, though. Like, that would annoy me.
No, I think it, but I think it's more in the, think about it this way. Imagine that right now, Machinist was doing 10% less damage than a Bard, right? Like a big chunk. And especially with how tight the battles are in this game, like the dance that you have to do and the checks, you know, someone being like, hey, could you bring Bard or Dancer instead? Wouldn't be inherently toxic or a red flag. It would just be like, hey, you know, would it be, you know, like trying to be, but like the game is these aren't people who want you to not play the thing. It's more that the game is incentivizing them to ask for you to change it because otherwise it's going to be a net negative for them and their time, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. I do feel like I've already seen that with Mechanist at a certain point in this game. Like, Mechanist has been really weak at certain points in the game, including when it first came out. And it did kind of get that reception, I feel.
Yeah. My god, you're right, Atelier. I didn't notice it before, but they're dragging the body of some poor Dragoon with them. Wait, what? What?
Rickard, yeah.
Why is the Floor Dragoon being Floor Dragoon? Oh yeah, that is Rickard, and when we got him, he was so low leveled I couldn't even grind with him without having to waste all my Phoenix downs, so he has been floor tanking this entire time, and he's doing a wonderful job at it.
If it makes you feel better, every side character has been doing it, except for Minwoo, has been doing this.
Yeah, it's true.
Are we gonna...
I'm gonna be excited when we actually have our squad of 4 next time.
Yes, me too. We're definitely getting all the optional playable characters in 6, right?
Yeah. I'm happy to do everything that's mainline, that's optional. We'll go out of our way to do it. I also, maybe starting with 3, want to like to go guideless. The only reason I'm doing it for 1 and 2 is because otherwise we'd be wandering around and meandering around forever.
Oh, it's so bleak. It's,
yeah.
Definitely 4, right? Definitely 4, at least.
Definitely 4. 4 is very clear where you're supposed to go for the most part.
Yeah, and I think by the time that we reach, like, 6, there will just be no question.
Yeah.
You know, we might need to pull it up occasionally, but for some of the, like, mid-early ones, but 6 and 7, no way.
No. From what I hated Overwatch. Any particular reason? Just the genre? I know you're not a big on FPSs and stuff, V, so it was mainly that, or was there something beyond?
I gotta say,
oh,
go on, sorry.
No, go. You're good.
I do feel like Overwatch really would have benefited from having a very substantial and repeatedly updated single-player mode.
I mean, that's what they, purportedly were trying to do with 2 and still didn't really do it.
It did not work.
No. Yeah, I mean, like, it is, or at the very least made a whole game that was just a single-player mode of or just an in-world Overwatch game. Because people would love to fandom over that stuff.
Oh yeah, I mean, the fandom for Overwatch was huge, and it was given almost entirely nothing.
Yeah.
Like, they could have...
Pretty wild.
Blizzard could have weathered this storm that was coming up now. Not that I think they should have, you know, I don't think they should have been protected from it, but, like, if they'd really played to that, I think they would be in a much better position financially than they are now.
No, I mean, they had every opportunity to have incredible long-term success with ease of, like, just giving the people what they... Not that sounds like just give the people what they want, but, like, to just, like, kind of just look... They had a lot of easy wins that they just chose to ignore in terms of long-term health for their fan base. Right,
exactly, yeah.
From what I heard, Conmade Dragonflight is really good, but the damage from the PR of Blizzard is noticeable in terms of population of players. Yeah, I'm not surprised, but also I would wonder how much the choices that they've made around changing the content to not force people to be around as much is also...
Yeah, maybe. I mean, World Quest sucked.
Yeah. My question is if World of Warcraft is a lower population player count, but everyone who's playing it is happier and healthier, I think that in the long term that's going to serve them well, and I think that's borne out by something like 14, right? Which was 14 lost almost everyone with 1.0. 2.0 came out, and there was some people who came back. You know, there was like obviously each expansion some people came back, but it was, if you look at the numbers that when they talk about them, it was like ARR, Heavensward, Storm, but like they were fighting and fighting and fighting for each expansion to like get it made, you know, make it. Like they were growing, but very slowly. And it's only first Shadowbringers where they saw a huge bump, and then Endwalker where they saw their second huge bump.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's true. I think that's true. They had certainly secured themselves by Heavensward, but like you said, Shadowbringers and Endwalker will really propelled them into stardom.
Right. And I'm not talking about quality. I'm just talking about literal numbers of people. Like, I remember, even myself, part of the reason they didn't come in until like around Stormblood is I remember 14 was always that thing that was like, hey, have you checked out this thing? Oh yeah, or like, oh, wasn't it kind of bad, or wasn't it like? It was the thing that a lot of people I knew who played MMOs like knew about, but never quite went to check out until late Stormblood when the hype train for Shadowbringers began, or like when Shadowbringers came out. That was when the most amount of people I know got into it.
So I was always a huge fan of Final Fantasy, but I'd never played any of the MMOs. And when 14 first came out, when 1.0 was out, like the only exposure I had to it was this is crazy. I watched the Yogscast videos on it. Duncan and Rithian and Kim, oh god, Kim used to play that like they would upload videos of like playing Hawk Manor and stuff for the first time. And like 1.0, and I would watch that, but like I never really got into it. Like, and then come ARR, I started to hear about it, and then in the last patch of ARR is when I started to play because my friend Anthony got me into it, and I just fell in love. I mean, look at where we are now.
And look at where we are now. I was just writing a Totorock script last night, to a new Totorock dungeon script. And I went back to read your Reddit post, your
oh wow,
Totorock.
Wow.
I still love that I found that completely. So for those of you who don't know, Naniri wrote a thing on like one of the dungeons in 14 and posted to Reddit, and I was doing work on that dungeon, like writing about that dungeon, and I happened to see that Reddit post when I was looking in search queries for stuff, and I was like, oh, this is cool, and I started being like, oh, this is really well done, and then I look up and I see it's Naniri who wrote it for years and years ago.
Yeah, so on my Google Docs ones, I've got all of the ARR all the ARR dungeons, and all of the ARR raids, and some of the Heaven's Ward dungeons. Once I get into a better position with my job, I've reached Heaven's Ward now with my with the site, but I'm gonna, once I get into a better job or a better position in my job, I am gonna start doing those again, fill out the site.
Well, we look forward to having you back. Flame health. No, it doesn't have any agility. Okay, so we're gonna quit. Let's go everyone. Oh, strength.
Put that shit on Bean.
Oh, Bean already has it.
Oh, okay.
Oh, the strength. Oh, the strength shit. Yeah, that's a good idea. Okay. We're about to fight the Emperor, so I'm gonna first get up people's chats. It was annoying, but it happened all the time. Yeah, I actually like the sprite work from the Pickle Remaster along with backgrounds and spells. However, I had to change the UI and font to be less bland. I thought you were just memeing because he was the first Dragoon, and per tradition, they must be floor tanking. I mean, that would be us energy.
That's
sorry,
true.
it was Dungeon Late. And yeah, rewow. I feel like the cultural osmosis was faster, and it wasn't just hardcore people that learned about the best specs, so that meant people who didn't know better would demand best specs. Yeah, and not know what they're talking about. That's definitely a thing. People who just hear what something is without understanding why it's that way, requiring it. I was thinking about WoW the other day, and I miss playing my Demon Hunter. Oh, Demon, the movie. I love moving around with them. But the WoW I like to play doesn't exist anymore. Yeah. Whereas in FF, mostly just the most hardcore who really care about optimum, i.e. machinists, because generally balance is so good it won't matter 99.9% of the time. And in theory, it shouldn't ever matter, because like the 1 or 2 times it has mattered of late, I mean really the one time it has mattered of late was partly because of an error on their part. Overwatch, not really the game. Admittedly, not my favorite, but can enjoy it. It was just not well balanced, true. And it just did not feel fun at all. I did not understand people's obsession with it, to be honest. I mean, my problem, so like, I love playing Reinhardt, and when I felt like my team was working with me, I had a great time. But the problem is that, like, that's a lot to ask of a game that's that level of chaotic and, like, maybe not the most communicative bunch.
I mean, that's fair.
Yeah. I wonder what FF would make the best anime series. I think 14. Do you disagree?
Yes.
Oh, okay. We'll think on that, but let's get the boss fights.
Okay. I disagreed, but I'm not sure I'm not sure which my choice would be. I want to lean towards 7.
But I think 7's kind of all is fucky in terms of its like cadence and. I actually think 7's story structure is kind of bad. Like I'm not saying 7's story is bad, but I just think it's like kind of really messy. In a way that I think it gets away with because it's a game.
But then like, 7 remake,
But look at how much remake changes the pacing, the cadence, and the flow.
Exactly, but you could do extended universe with it. If we're talking just
Sure.
base game, okay, hear me out on this then. Here's my proposal: a short, like a mini-series, anime mini-series, maybe like at most 10 episodes, that focuses on the history of Spira.
I'll take that. I'll fucking take. What do you mean? What do you? For those who don't know, Spira is the world of 10. Dez, good to see you. Glad to have you. And yeah, I'll fucking take that in a moment, in a flash.
Right? We could see the history of the Aeons and stuff, who they were.
Oh fuck. Oh. See, now I just want like a 10 anime, but then there's just mini-sodes between each one that are like that. Like at the end of each one, there's like a little 5-minute mini-sode of each Aeon. So like at the end of episode 1, it's like a mini-sode of Val4. At the end of episode 2, it's like a mini-sode of Ifrit, and you just go down the line.
The Seymour one would be crazy. Not the Seymour one, the Anima one would be crazy.
I mean, you almost get that, basically.
Yeah, you get the deeds.
With when you go... Yeah, because she gives you her story in a way that not all the other Aeons do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 14 series, but every so often you get an episode that's totally Hildebrand investigations. I feel like there's 2 ways to do 14 anime, and that is either to do it like we were talking about, I think last time, 12 episode seasons. Each expansion is a season, and then each interstitial is like 6 episodes. You got like 5 episodes. So you've got like the point 1, point 2, point 3, point 4, point 5, and point 55 are all like each an episode or whatever. Or you just full filler arc of that shit and do every quest in the goddamn game. You have like, it's like by the time you're done, it's 1,000 episodes long, and you've done all the Hildebrand stuff. You've done all Eden. You've done everything. Well, I guess if you're gonna do raids and stuff, you're gonna have to do more than 12 episodes. Oh man, that's hard. I guess like you could do each episode. Yeah.
I just don't think it suits an anime, or like a televised series.
Oh, but think about it. Think about if Alexander was like an hour-long episode, right? I think that would work really well.
No, I think you're cutting too much.
I don't think you have to cut it. I think you're overestimating how much actually happens in Alexander.
Yeah, but you want a good long fight scene for every boss.
No!
I do.
You can montage that shit.
No, I don't want that.
Maybe the final boss of each ring.
No, I don't want that. Like, maybe the final boss...
I don't want that filler garbage.
I do. It would have to be like One Piece level length in my mind.
That's what I'm saying. Like, right, like if you're gonna go do 1,000 episodes and then then you could do each tier is 1 episode.
Right.
I'm excited for the Relic Reborn filler arc.
Okay, I wouldn't even do one. I would do. Okay, yeah, okay. One tier is in like A1, or is in like A1 to 4.
Yeah.
No, I would do like A1 to 2 maybe.
But the story's not even broken up in that way. Because like if you do 1 to 2, you effectively are doing the intro to Alexander, and then like meeting Mide, and then like 2 fights, and then there's like no other story. Like there's no even catharsis to that episode. There's no like end point. Because like literally all of the tiers are literally, oh, you finished that one? Here's the next one. Finish that one? Here's the next one. So if you only went to 2, you know.
You could beef that up.
Okay, let's kill Issa.
Okay, let's kill Issa.
I expected you'd come, Elio. Do you really think you can kill me?
Stop, both of you. Why do you insist on fighting Issa?
Weak words from the weak. Do you know what rules the world? Oh my god, it's Gaius! Power! Sheer power! The Imperial throne is mine! The weak cannot survive without the strong. It's literally Gaius! Holy shit, Gaius is a FF2 reference. The weak cannot survive without the strong to control them. How many lives did the rebels throw away when they chose to oppose the Empire?
David Bowie's here. So.
Oh my god, the music even sounds like the Garlean theme.
Delusions of grandeur do not become you, Issa. Though I find the thought of you as emperor quite
deliciously absurd. It ends now. This world can have but one emperor, and I am he. I'm chewing this script. I'm chewing on it.
It's good shit. You're alive? What are you? For whom do you fight? Not that it matters. The Empire's mine now, and I have no intention of handing it over.
The Empire? Ha! I've no need for such trifles now. All the world shall fall by my hand, and the powers I gain in hell.
Oh, wait, okay, I was about to say, are they gonna explain why he's coming back, why he's powerful? And no, the answer is just he went to hell and became more powerful!
No, he went to hell
What?
and they were like, oh, we're gonna torture you for war crimes and being gay and stuff, and he was like, ah, I'm too gay! And then he, like, had sex with the devil.
Just because you're fantasizing. What is it? What was Little Nas? Do you know that Little Nas? I think it's the Little Nas music video where he, like,
Oh, when he
dances
grinds
on
on
the devil.
Yeah.
Yeah. What is it with, like, FF2, like, had a pretty, you know,
This game is
kind of
begging
traditional
for a
narrative.
remake. This game is begging
Right.
for a remake.
But first Chaos, who comes out of goddamn nowhere, and then the Emperor, who just like, and I'm back from hell, boys!
Oh, give me a remake where you, like, and there's, like, a little chapter where you play as the Emperor in hell getting power. That would be so cool.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's literally just Nero from Devil May Cry, effectively
yeah.
getting trapped in... You know what?
You're right. And your blood will be the first to spill.
Furion and friends pitching their anime ideas to Leo.
I completely forgot that Furion was his name, and I was like, who? Oh, Elio.
Call the Wyvern! You can use it to escape! Rickard, what are you doing? You may have a little trouble spilling the blood of Rickard Highwind, last of the Dragoons.
Pathetic insect. You're clearly level 5. I will enjoy making you rue those words.
May the spirits of the Dragoon lend me their strength.
Rickard!
I love that they have to justify why Rickard's not in our party anymore so they can get used in our party.
They just kill everyone off in this. Oh, okay. Well, this doesn't seem like you're fighting Rickard. It just seems like you're blowing up. That's not a fair fight.
Why does this feel weirdly familiar?
He killed Rickard, and then Rickard fell over and floor tanked, and he tried to step over him and tripped over, and then he got really pissed off and blew the castle up.
Is Athena coming back from hell now, I'm wondering? Because of, you know,
Oh, yeah.
Pandemonium.
Hey, I mean, I would believe it, yeah. Elio, what's happened? You're the Dark Knight. You'd best start explaining.
The Emperor has risen from hell.
Somehow Palpatine has returned.
What a... Literally! That's exactly what I was thinking.
Oh, I was in full Star Wars roleplay. Like, I was roleplaying on Star Wars Old Republic every night when that came out. And when I went to the theaters to watch that film, and, like, my eyes rolled so far back into my head that I could, like, see my tonsils.
Yep.
So I was like, what is happening?
I can do you one better. I drove 5 hours to go to, like, Chicago. I was in a theater watching every Star Wars movie from the first one to the current one that ended with that. And not only did that happen, but in the middle of, like, I think, like, Return of the Jedi, so I started getting a really bad cold. So, like, I was sick out of my mind. It was just, it was an experience.
Oh my god, that was crazy. And I was I am an ardent defender of the first two films. So
Same, me too. Very, very much so. And I mean, I feel like it's telling to me that I've only seen the Rise of Skywalker once, and I literally was like, I'm gonna wait. It's the only Star Wars film I haven't seen like more than 10 times. And I've like been waiting to go back to it so I can, to put it in Luke's words, see the good in it and try to like give it, you know.
I walked out
like
that
try
film,
to like.
and I saw it with my dad.
Really?
My dad, yeah, my dad was there with me. No, I didn't walk out early. Sorry, I walked out at the end
Oh,
of the
okay.
film, and my dad was there with me. Like he'd watch it with me, and he was like, "That was kind of good, right?" And I was like, "Yes, yeah, it was okay."
It has its moments. It has its
I
moments.
liked the fight scenes; they were okay.
Yeah. Well, and like there are some choices in there where if even I'm like kind of sad by the choices that are inherently like I'm just gonna say this. Whether or not I think Ben Solo should have been redeemed, Ben Solo as a character and how he's used is awesome.
Yeah, it was fine.
That
Like,
makes-
it was perfectly. The Ben stuff wasn't really the issue. I hated one of my major bugbears was the dagger. The dagger that like was a map.
Oh my god.
But
It's so the physical like etches into him like that doesn't make any sense.
If
like
the Death
like
Star
and not
had shifted even like an inch.
right. Right. Like there's suspension of disbelief and then there's bringing it a bridge too far.
Not to mention that the
Mateus
guy
was sent to.
Oh yeah, no, go.
Sorry, go ahead. No, yeah. Mateus was sent to hell, kills Satan, and becomes the new Emperor of Hell due to so metal. Yeah. Give me a remake where you can fight the Dark Knight at least once. My God. Yeah. I feel like the replaying of the FF games, the thing that has brought the most to the fore to me is how much a FF7 style remake all of them really deserve, and not a Strangers of Paradise remake, an FF7 style, like. Yeah.
An FF7.
The Empire's. Yeah. The Emperor has risen from hell, and somehow Palpatine has returned.
Rickard died. Why do I care? Rickard died so we could escape. Joseph,
Oh, hey.
Minwu, Sid, Rickard, all dead.
Maybe we should be better allies.
Right? I don't know how much more I can take.
As long as the Emperor lives, more will die. Issa. Princess, let Issa join us, please.
The Dark Knight? A rebel? I leave the decision to you.
He hasn't even offered to join. A second ago, he was trying to kill all of us.
Yeah, this is like Steven Universe stuff. Issa, let's fight the Emperor together, please.
Nymeria, Elio. Oh,
What about Bean? What about Bean?
And also, what about, like, what? Literally, what changed his mind?
Why didn't he say something to Bean?
Well, so what I would say about the evil version, right, V, is they're like thematically, right? There's the whole idea that she's worried that her blood defines her, and worried that by being the child of Palpatine, she like. I feel like it does go into her thematic plot, which is like she's worried that she is going to be evil and is not good because of her bloodline. I don't think they do it well, but I don't think I don't think it has no purpose.
I utterly hated that she did that whole Rey Skywalker thing at the end, and not because like
Oh my god.
a lot of people are like
Just end without saying anything. Just let it be, like, let it end, like, who are you? And let that be the end. Like, that's the perfect end for that.
a lot of people think that like a lot of people hate it because they're misogynist, but like I was like, why would she choose Skywalker? Why wouldn't she be like an Organa or something? Anything.
Yeah.
Or why not like reclaim the Palpatine legacy? Like her parents were ostensibly good people. I mean, they sold her into slavery, which maybe wasn't the best way to hide her identity, but still. Why Skywalker? Like she wasn't that close to Luke.
No, and like, I understand that, okay, here, if I'm being charitable, right? Skywalker, the idea of Skywalker as a symbol, it's being a symbol carrying on that legacy of, like, you know, of his inspiration and what it means to bring, you know, and to inspire people, yada, yada, yada. I don't think it does that well. But, like, if you, and this is also me just loving what the answer that The Last Jedi went with, using that you know, you're no one and you're allowed to be who you want to be and allowed to make your own story. But like I feel so me liking that means that this is why I'm predisposed to this. But if you had just been who are you and you just end with her like sitting like with her and then she smiles and then it cuts, it allows that to be, I don't know, that ambiguity is so much more meaningful to me.
It's hugely more meaningful, and I hate the fact that it's so so laborious about being like, we have to bring back the bloodlines, and I was like, wasn't the whole point of that like kid with the broom that like the future is not? Is that guy like a secret Mace Windu cousin or something? Like, not everything has to be that.
Fly to Castle Deist. Ask the women about Deist nuts.
Deist nuts. So Des has said Palpatine, like Goofy, is canonically fucked, and I've got listen. Palpatine canonically fucked in the old canon as well. He had a Quasimodo style son who was like big and hunchbacked and all mutant-y. And he wasn't like a Sith or anything. He didn't have the Force. He just sort of like stabbed people with knives.
Look, at least we don't have Luke.
Oh, Mara
For
Jade.
those who don't know, Palpatine made an equal clone of Luke that he named Luke.
He did.
Like Luke with like 2 or 3 U's.
Yeah, it was crazy that they just scrapped Mara Jade, but I heard that JJ hated Mara Jade, so I was like, okay, well, I liked Mara Jade.
Rickard's gone too, then. He was a noble dragoon. I'm sure he's pleased that he could die in the name of honor. Ask about dragoons? I think we'll leave Deist behind and find a new place to live. There are too many painful memories within these walls.
I mean, it's also like...
Thank you for saving the wyvern egg and for giving me the chance to see Rickard one last time. That's why we want you to have this. It was the most treasured possession of the dragoons. Of Deist. Excalibur. With Rickard gone, you should be the one to wield this sword. Why did the dragoons have a sword?
I don't know.
Did they have lances? Well...
It was originally on the end of a stick, but it broke off.
Oh, there you go.
I tell you, I'm sure that it is implied that Leon or Issa was brainwashed by the Emperor. It's just not implied very well.
Well, it does say that there's magics cast upon him, but it doesn't explain, like, well, why did those... No, it was definitely me. J.J. Abrams. Okay, am I back, guys? It says concurrent viewers 5. Looks like it kicked everyone else, too. It ended stream.
Oh, it says 3 watching now for me.
Yeah. Oh, well. We'll have to finish. Oh, and the game crashed, so it... Oh, that's no...
Oh, please tell me it didn't save
okay.
much. It didn't lose much save data.
We had lost pretty much everything that we just did, but that's fine. We can
yeah,
I'm gonna power through it. Jesus, I don't know what the hell happened. Yeah, I'm back.
Okay,
Damn it,
nice.
Gruda, would it be Ramu or maybe Shiva? I don't know what happened. I think it might have been we lost power for a second because we've been having blizzards, but literally my computer just turned off. Thanks for the welcome back. Elio is also... Yeah, oh yeah. Thanks. Okay. What we'll do, those, we'll be able to power through that real quick.
Yeah.
Let me catch up on messages in the meantime. Joe, it's good to see you, glad to have you. Yeah, Luke. Love... From what I hear, the dagger was used in like a Clone Wars or something beforehand, and the movie just ultimately destroyed anything the dagger stood for.
I don't think that's right.
I don't think that's true. There's a dagger like that on the dagger. If you're talking about the dagger of Mortis, then yes. But unless that's like you're just like someone saying that's like the dagger of Mortis.
There's no way.
Got it. Then. But even if it did, that's like weird. I don't know that. I don't think it's the dagger of Mortis.
Also,
well, I agree it could have purpose. I think you're giving.
The guy with the dagger stabbed someone there, and I'm like, that's your map back to. You're gonna chip it, or like it's like a decorative thing. You're gonna break it, and then you're not gonna be able to get back to your base.
Well, and also like there's plenty of happenstance in Star Wars. The fact that like the inciting incident of C-3PO and R2 landing. I mean that's not even like it's not even. There's a reason Obi-Wan was there in the first place, right? So them landing there is kind of intentional, and that they find. But setting that aside. The finding of the dagger is just like, and them happening to run into the like one place on a random planet. It breaks my suspension of disbelief.
It sucks, but
I'm sorry. Well, I agree. It could have purpose. Talking about the Rey dark side because the movie does not do it at all. That's interesting. I remember, like, what I remember is that, like, they actually do have her struggling with her role. It's, like, part of the reason she goes to Kylo and stuff as well, to find out the truth. And she's, like, worried about the darkness inside of her, right? Like, I don't think they do it well, but I do think there's multiple things there.
So, on the topic of dark-sided Rey, can I just say, I see a lot of people, like, shitting on the cool, like, flip saber staff she has. That was cool. Stop talking shit about it.
Yeah, that was cool. Wait, why are people shitting on it?
People are like, oh, it's so dumb, and I'm like, you just don't like anything that the first two trilogies didn't do.
I just also, well, but the funny thing is that those are the exact same people when the first trilogy came out who hated on the prequels. Like, this,
Yeah.
we've seen this all before. Like, this is what's so silly to me, is like, we've seen this all before. Like, this exact same thing happened with the prequels when there were people who, like, were shitting on the Maul Saber, or when, like... Time is a flat circle!
Well, people react this way, like, they like to hit on a new thing, and then when the next thing comes out, like, the way that the prequels got, like, woobified so quickly the moment that, that the sequel trilogy came out was crazy.
Mm-hmm. It was funny, because I've actually always been kind of a prequel stan.
Yeah, so I am as well, because they set up most of what I love about the universe, but I did watch it, and the middle one is very bad. But the other two
Attack
are good.
of the Clones?
Yeah, Attack of the Clones. I did not like that.
Attack of the Clones is very interesting pacing. You know, I can't say that I gotta say I like Attack of the Clones. I think it's maybe my least favorite, but I can't say that I like it particularly less than Phantom Menace.
I think Qui-Gon Jinn's a really strong character.
Yeah, I think Obi-Wan though in Attack of the Clones is a really strong character.
He is.
And I also think despite like there's really a lot of aspects, even if the performances aren't always great, of I don't know. There's a lot of things I like about it, Attack of the Clones. And also I also fucking just love Across the Stars so much. It's such a good musical theme.
Oh, the music for the prequels trilogy is crazy good. I mean, Duel of Fate.
Raven, good to see, glad to have you. Oh my god.
I mean, Grey Jedi objectively exist in both canons, but Qui-Gon isn't a great representation of them.
Hey, my messages, there's dozens of us. Wait. I love The Last Jedi. I don't know why so many people hated it. I think it's just divisive. I think that I've had this conversation with a lot of people on both sides of the fence because I'm a big fan of. I love The Last Jedi. I also just love everything Rian Johnson does, frankly, at this point. But the thing I'll say is that my experience with The Last Jedi about what divides people. Sometimes people just have stupid takes, but sometimes it's a couple of things. One of it is what Luke means to them, and also what they feel Luke is and what he represents and what his character is. And like his shirking of duty and not choosing to save the galaxy and not choosing to immediately face and own up to his mistakes, they just find reprehensible and character assassination or what have you. There's the fact that it tries to celebrate Star Wars, but also try to move it forwards and not just look backwards, which for some people they don't want. I think there's a lot of things that I understand why people don't like it for that, but those are also things I celebrate it for.
I really strongly think that J.J. Abrams taking back the Star Wars trilogy in a dick move after The Last Jedi fucked the whole thing over. He should have let Rian do the third film as well.
Or fuck it. At this point, I would have rather have, oh my god, Jurassic World, Trevorrow, like who was originally supposed to do it.
Okay.
Really, Colin Trevorrow was the one who was gonna do it, and then he backed out for, I think it might have been after like the Book of Henry came out, frankly.
Do you remember how before the in the last season of Game of Thrones, D&D were listed to take on a Star Wars film?
Yep. Oh, I very much remember that.
Oh,
I very remember much that ending too.
Oh yeah. I tell you, speaking of Rian Johnson, Glass Onion was so good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, dude, whenever that dude writes something, it's good shit. Also, have you watched Poker Face? It's a show he made on it just came out on Peacock, I think. And it's basically he got to write a mystery of the week show but it's just 10 episodes. It's like a it basically mini Knives Out episodes for like 10 episodes of the show, and it's very highly rated.
Fun. Oh, it has what's her name? What's that actress name? Oh, it's not her. It look. Who's that? Who's the main actress? Oh, Natasha Lyonne. Yeah, I love Natasha Lyonne.
There you go. Let me catch up on the chat. We're so happy Ray Ray declared herself dictator the moment you left. Ray Ray didn't have to do that when I left. Ray Ray already is the dictator regardless. I mean, basically my mods are like the three creation spirits of Legend of Zelda lore. Like we've got Din, Nehru, who's who? Ray Ray, I think you're power, so you're Din. V, I think you're wisdom, so you're Nehru, and then Bean is probably Green reminds me of a Deku. So
For us, that's just for us. No, it's there for us.
No, Daniel, it was the most perfect utopia. Not brainwashed, tempered. Yeah. Oh wait, someone said they had a hot take.
I love hot takes. Give us more hot takes.
It was a hot take about Star Wars. My Star Wars hot take is that the Vong was a terrible piece of retcon writing. Actually, it was predicting the galaxy from the outside. Correct. Yeah. Oh,
Wait, the Eorzean Vong? The Eorzean Vong were terrible?
Yes, that is what Dez is saying. That their hot take is that they think the Eorzean Vong was terrible.
I think they're fine.
Because I think probably. I mean, the idea that like the Sith or that the the Chiss were protecting the galaxy.
Okay, yeah, I mean, that's fair. We didn't need that for the Chiss were fine as they were.
I will say I like in the Old Republic lore though the idea that they're like the Emperor, the Sith Emperor was like fearful of what was out there, and like there's just like a sense that there's a larger galaxy out there beyond the bounds of like the galaxy that we know. And there's something about that I kind of like. Like there's something kind of almost horrific when Star Wars tilts a little bit towards Eldritch and a little bit towards cosmic, like not even just cosmic horror, but just cosmic scales and indifference. I actually think it's really strong.
Yeah, so they do some of that stuff cool. Like the Mortis stuff is basically all a reference to the really old stuff with the Force beings and all of that. And I think what she's called something. But there's that big evil one that like tries to eat the galaxy, and then there's the Star Weirds. Like they do flirt with it in a really interesting way. Yes, that's right. Yes.
You mean Abeloth, the mother? Yeah, she used to be. Yeah. I'm just a fan of this. That's one of the parts of like old of Legends that I'm a fan of. But the thing is like at the same time, that's not what Star Wars is to a lot of people. Like it's part of one thing I like about Star Wars, but I understand when it's not what Star Wars is to someone. So it's like, oh, if they made a movie with that shit, it's gonna be like, what is this? And that's part of the problem is that Star Wars means very different things to different people.
It does. So it means a hell of a lot different to people who like take in a lot of the extended universe things, like. You and I have, but the problem is a lot of the people who've taken in a lot of the extended universe things are just insufferable about it. They're just terrible about it.
Fans, what do you mean the fans are obsessive and specific and annoyed when you don't do their thing exactly as they want it?
But yeah, I mean, they wouldn't even know what to make out of like a. I don't know. They're very gatekeepers as well.
Yeah, that's the whole thing. Guys, Qui-Gon Jinn is totally a pure gray Jedi exists. It's also funny to me that like if people like would go like crazy over like why are there no gray Jedi and stuff. It's like literally they like are hearkening to that idea already with Ahsoka Tano in like current canon. So it's like
true. Yeah, and the thing is, Grey Jedi. Let's not pretend that Grey Jedi have ever been like even Legends never made them a main thing. Like they did all sorts of content, but they were never a major part of it. Like,
well, but and more than that, I think the idea of a Grey Jedi is kind of stupid, and here's why. I think something like the current thing that they're doing in the High Republic and stuff like that, of being like, hey, there's the light side, and not only that's a spectrum, and how you go about it matters, and like there's a difference between dogma and good, and like basically just being like, rather than just 2 poles and then a 3rd pole in the middle, it's saying, hey, there's multiple poles and it's complicated, and how to do it right is hard, and finding that balance. And it's so much more interesting than like just being like, oh, I am neither Jedi nor Sith, I am between. You know, it's like, well, you know,
Well,
they
that's
have
the
great
thing, right?
lightsabers.
No. Well, some maybe.
That-
Ahsoka does, but
Well, I mean, like, yeah, the new Ahsoka one with the purification of the lightsabers.
so I've always felt like people misunderstand what Grey Jedi are. Like, there are 1,000 labels for things in the middle. Like, there are countless. And Grey Jedi they're a social thing. They're not like even an ideology thing. That they're members of the Jedi Order that lean away from the light, without leaning into the dark too much. Like, they're not
Right.
There's not like an order of Grey Jedi out there, and there's not like I hate seeing the Grey Jedi code like banded or anything. Like that's awful.
Right.
Canon.
I should have clarified what I'm talking about when people is. I'm not necessarily talking about necessarily how it's all written. More that the fact that the way the Grey Jedi is seated as like a specific pole rather than exactly what you're saying.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
They had silver lightsabers in the KOTOR games. Does that count? I mean, they had every kind of lightsaber in the KOTOR games. You want a pink lightsaber? Here you go. You want a gold lightsaber? Here you go. You want to be a Wookiee with a bronze lightsaber? Here you go.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
For those who don't know, I'm talking about Lobaka, the son of Chewbacca, who was a Jedi, because everyone was a Jedi in the fucking after.
I like that in the extended canon, Leia just became a Hutt Slayer. Like she just kept killing Hutts. She even killed a rogue Jedi Hutt that was like muscular and could move around quite fast.
Yeah, the closest you get it to a gray lightsaber would be probably Ahsoka Tano's current lightsabers, because, I mean, they're white, but the idea with those is that a Sith crystal is created by corrupting a kyber crystal with the dark side, and then a white lightsaber is created by purifying a red crystal.
And this is all very canon. Obviously, the stuff's different in Legend.
Right, because red kyber crystal were synthetic in the Legend.
Yeah, they were created out of blood and various other things in a like a pressure chamber. And bleeding is a canon thing.
Yeah. Well, and I much prefer like the current version in like a general sense. I did like the idea that the dark side creating synthetic crystals as like. I mean, there's something about like the difference between the like nature versus forcibly, manufacturing something for they just fit within the Sith ideology, I felt.
Yeah, I've often like followed as a Sith roleplayer, right? In Star Wars Puzzle, I've done a lot of synthetic crystal roleplay. And I mean, I like them both, but I've always also had a soft spot for bleeding. I think the idea of being able to leech certain sentiments out of crystals is a really cool idea.
Yeah, and it makes the kyber crystals feel like alive things, which is it adds, returns some of the mysticism rather than the science to them.
Right. Yeah, I mean that's always been sort of the case, but they never really did much with it. Like the synthetic crystals are supposed to be a reflection of the Sith that made them. Like they have parts of their personality in them in a very vague way, and then the kyber crystals are alive-ish, but they never really do anything with them. So yeah, I think bleeding adds a really cool dimension.
I'm just gonna skip that.
By the way, are you streaming this?
Yeah.
It's not on Discord.
Oh, to you. Am I streaming it to you? No, I'm not.
I thought we were just sitting here. I was like, well, this isn't okay. Like I'm enjoying the Star Wars talk, so.
No, I've been playing this whole time. Imagine that we're just sitting here. This is our Star Wars podcast. My hot take is, I should have warmed. God damn it, it's later. I played and loved KOTOR 2 as a teenager, so it was all for going against expectations and moving Star Wars forward. Maybe that's why I like The Last Jedi. Yeah, Daniel, that makes sense. Actually, one thing I think people don't realize often enough, and that's actually something that's really cool, is the level to which KOTOR 1 is deeply rooted in it's actually more close to the hero's journey in some ways than, like, A New Hope is, and is, like, primordial Star Wars and how the level to which KOTOR 2 is an utter rejection of what Star Wars is while also being Star Wars. Not just like the superficially, but also like but poking holes in it and refuting it.
They're both really good.
Both of them are, yeah. I'm so sad that remake seems like it's falling through because those games are going to get harder and harder to play, not just literally, but also mechanically. They're just like kind of abrasive for a modern audience.
Yeah, they're a little. I mean, they're okay to play. They're not like Daggerfall or Arena or something like that, which are like intolerable.
No, but even Morrowind, I have a hard time suggesting to people.
Yeah, that's a real shame. Morrowind. So I kind of feel like Morrowind does need a remake, but I don't think there's any way they do it justice. I don't think there are people that nuts in the gaming space anymore to make that. Like, you would need to like get some Eastern Europeans in. They're making some crazy stuff lately.
Yeah, they are really Disco Elysium. I mean, have you played Atomic Hearts yet? I haven't gotten into it.
I haven't gotten around to it now.
I'm curious the level to which it's just Soviet Bioshock, or the level to which it's is able to go beyond that.
I just feel like it would be so redundant if it was Soviet Bioshock, because Bioshock is already like Soviet Bioshock and American Bioshock and Chinese. Like, Bioshock is already all those Bioshocks.
Yeah, it really is.
Man, I love Bioshock.
Bioshock's real fucking good. Do you like Bioshock Infinite? I know a lot of people don't, and I was always surprised by that, because I actually quite like it a lot.
I love the gameplay. I think the gameplay is great. I love Burial at Sea. I think it's fantastic. The story of the main game, I like it. I don't love it.
You know, it's interesting. The biggest thing I hear from a lot of people is also they don't like the gameplay. They think like the guns are like wimpy or whatever. I don't know. I'm not well versed in its criticisms because I just haven't super looked into it in a while. But what is it about the game? I mean, the story to me, I don't know. I like it.
So I like it. I don't love it, but like I said, I do like it fundamentally. I think my main issue with the story maybe was that it felt a little performative at points, maybe. Like it had less to say politically than maybe the other ones, despite pretending it had as much to say. I felt like
absolutely.
Yeah, I think the world building wasn't quite as inspired, and sort of all of that. And I think it was also that I was really biased. Like, I was really jonesing for a Fall of Rapture game. And then along came Burial at Sea and gave me that.
I was about to say, did you like Burial at Sea?
I love Burial at Sea. I think it's maybe the best Bioshock's ever been.
Oh, interesting. Ooh. It's been so long since I've played it in terms of thinking about the ways in which it critiqued, like, in the way in which it like was critiquing social structures and economic structures. Does it do that as particularly well as the original game?
Yeah, I feel like it really harkens back to the original games in that sense. Maybe not as earnestly as some of them, but I think it makes up for any lacking in that with the mixture of the original game's world building and setting with and sort of set design as well. I think Rapture is just an incredibly engaging environment. Mixed with the gameplay, the better gameplay, which I will maintain. Like, people might say the guns are wimpy, but like they were kind of wimpy in Bioshock 1 as well. So, and in Bioshock 2, you're playing a Big Daddy, so what do you expect?
Yeah, I feel that. I think I was just thinking about it because I really love Bioshock 1 for all of its social commentary stuff and many, many other things. But what I realized that I do get something different out of Infinite, but that is like the tragedy of the intercession of infinite possibilities into the mundanity of a person with a singular life. Now let me be less hoity-toity about what I'm saying. And what I'm saying is, all the tragedies around that game are kind of almost like the good parts of Rick and Morty, in that it is not just when there's infinite impossibilities, nothing matter, but literally what happens when you are only one person contending in the face of infinite possibilities and all, not only those tragedies, but like the harm that those possibilities contending, like infecting into reality, affecting everything, does to individuals.
Like the horror of
You know?
causality type thing, yeah. Like I mean,
Yeah,
that's Booker's
that's a
whole
great way of
vibe,
putting it.
yeah.
Yeah, and so I think it does that really well. And so while it's not, it definitely I think Yahtzee put it. What is it like? Racist Disneyland was what he called. What is it called? The
Arcadia? No, that's not right. That's the garden. Hold on, I'll look it up.
Yeah, I don't know why I'm forgetting this.
Columbia.
Columbia, of course.
I mean, the name's pretty on pretty on the nose.
Yeah. It is definitely like, you know, it's racist Disneyland.
It is.
That's not unfair, and I don't think it like it's not. I don't want to say superficial, but it doesn't deeply interrogate it more beyond being like, hey guys, here's some of our really shady past that not only was it shady, but like a lot of people celebrated it for a long time.
Yeah,
you know,
I
it wasn't just.
I almost feel like it presents it, but it doesn't critique it. Like it presents it and says this is bad, but it doesn't really explain it. Whereas, you know, although a lot of dude bros on the internet don't get it, like Bioshock 1 presents like grandism and then like really well critiques it, and then a bunch of guys are like, oh my god,
Oh my god,
oh my god, this game makes me want to
way
read Atlas Shrugged. Oh my god, I love it.
But see, I feel like that's the same thing, though. Maybe not quite the same, but I feel like that's the same thing with. Oh right, we don't have to read the dialogue. We can just skip forward. I feel like that's kind of the same thing with. I don't think you're wrong. I do feel like the game kind of does indict it just by kind of showing it and kind of juxtapose it against someone like Booker and like the way in which he's like not just regretful, but like clearly doesn't vibe with it. I don't know. I feel like you're right. I feel like it doesn't indict it other than just being like, you should probably understand just by seeing this that it's bad. It should be indicting of itself.
Yeah, I feel like it almost tackles easier topics. I know that's an absurd thing to say because like racism is not an easy topic, but in the modern day, for most people who play these kind of games, and I don't, as I'm saying that, I'm sort of changing my mind, but like that level of racism being bad is just, you know, like the truth, but reckless capitalism maybe is in the vein of like grandism and stuff, is maybe something that needs to be critiqued more and needs more in-depth in critiquing. Like they could have done, like if Columbia was like post-segregation but really inspected the like institutionalization of racism and poverty amongst.
I mean, they've tried to with the Vox Populi some.
Yeah,
you know?
But even then, I feel like that's like. Yeah, no, you're right. But I feel like that's often just an homage to the civil rights movement, right?
100, and I don't think it does it as well. What I was gonna say is, I say that about Vox Populi, but the difference to me is that one of the ways that the game takes down, like, kind of like critiques Randian philosophy in the first game, right, is that you're coming to Rapture after its fall, and you're seeing all these people celebrating this thing, and you're seeing, but while watching the outcome, right?
Yeah,
and so there's not something like that because you're in Columbia pre-fall, and there's not a direct correlation between, it was, you know, the ideologies of Columbia that led to its fall. It's more like, okay, there's civil unrest, and yes, the civil unrest is tied to the fact that they were kind of shit, but like, it's not as strong, you know?
Yeah. No, I mean, you're right. It was also... So I'm not necessarily opposed to the way to having the Vox Populi become a morally grey faction, but the way they did it, it just didn't engender me to it very much. I just I didn't think it was done particularly well.
Thanks, Atelier. We're gonna go straight into Pandemonium now, so we're gonna finish it up.
Ooh, nice.
I hope you all enjoyed our Star Wars-based and Bioshock-based interlude as we got ourselves back to where we needed to be.
Oh man.
Bioshock-based interlude would be that could be a good band name.
Yeah, sure, please. Rapture Interlude. Oh my god, that's an amazing band.
Raptured Interlude. Ooh, yeah.
That's a good band name.
Welcome to our Final Fantasy II podcast where we talk about band names.
Yeah, I'd do it. Escaping Pandemonium. Total emo name. That's good.
Oh, yeah. Rise. Well, no, Rise from Hell sounds more like a metal name.
Well, we could do metal names. But I'm almost certain that there's already a Rise from Hell. Like Rise from Hell.
South of Altair.
South of Altair. Oh, it's that hole, right? It's the hole. It's the hole.
It's the hole in the bottom of the sea.
Oh, yeah. Oh, well, what songs did you sing at school? Oh, okay. Here's a question, a cultural question. In America, right, do you have assemblies? Like, you all gather up and sing, like, hymns and stuff? Like, and not even hymns.
Wait. Okay, hymns?
Okay, so...
well, it depends. It depends on the state. It depends on, like, quite a few things.
Okay, well, let me explain how it would go in the UK. Like, we would gather up and we would sing... Like, we would do maybe a few hymns, but, like, a lot of, like, pop culture songs as well, and, like, kids' songs, like... Just like casual, campy, like kid songs, you know, stuff like that. And we would also, most of it was singing actually. Now that I think about it, and then like maybe a really naughty kid would get told off in front of the whole assembly, or they would be like,
okay, this is another. Sorry, this is a UK and Australianism versus America. I want to know for the American people here, naughty is like, naughty is whatever is a strange. Naughty is a more loaded word. I hear people use it like, oh, you're being, you know, kind of like here it's like I hear naughty much more often used like in a sexual connotation or but like when I'm talking about a UK and Australian friends, it's a much more general term. And is that just me? Am I crazy here?
No, I think that's probably true from my perspective. Like in the UK, it's mostly used to refer to like kids who are being like badly behaved.
Well, that's what always throws me off. Canes, good to see you, glad to have you. Naughty is for nighttime. Okay, so this we consider this going to the ethereal sea.
This is like a sea note, like a South American sea note. The you know the they're like the sinkholes in South America.
Oh, the sinkholes.
Yeah. The Aztecs used to like sacrifice people in.
If you look at this also kind of looks like, you know, you've got your Asphodelos, your Abyssos. Okay. I know I'm trying to make connections, but
I mean,
you're right. Mostly used for dirty things too.
It doesn't not look like the anti-tower, like the area.
Yeah,
around
I'm just thinking what the final tier for the rating tier for 14 is going to be like. Naughty is sometimes used for small children in America too. Yeah, I just guess I don't. It's very rare that I hear that.
I'm sure it's regional, right? Probably.
Maybe. Okay, and then let's get Issa. Okay, Issa's also doing double axes.
Hell yeah, Issa.
So yeah, did you guys like assemble and do songs and hymns and stuff? Because that's not.
Naniri's staff is healing this thing.
Yeah.
Oh, never mind.
Magic heals it.
Yeah, it could be, couldn't it? Or an element.
6.4, Greg. It's will come out in what? About 6.1 July. So May. Should come out in about May.
The hymns weren't like... The hymns weren't even in a religious context, which is a weird thing to say maybe, but like...
No, I mean, well, you guys have the fucking, like, your own experience with Christianity is weird. You got the Church of England and all that shit.
Yeah, no, it's just like, it's just like a song, like a kid-friendly song, maybe? I don't even know how to explain it, like... I think it was just what the music teachers knew. They could play on the piano.
Yeah, I guess, like, we had music classes for me, but we didn't have, like... there weren't like assemblies and stuff. There was assemblies. It was for like a major announcement for like something going on.
Right. Do we had one every? Was it every week or every day? It might have been every week. And then in
Wait. How many students did you have?
Oh God, I don't know. A few hundred in middle school, then maybe. Well, by year or by entire school?
So by entire school. So like for instance, for me in middle school we had a couple hundred, but in high school we had like 2,500.
Oh God, I don't know. I wasn't really aware of that. Hold on, let me see if I can find that detail.
We assembled and celebrate sports teams and such. Occasionally we would have anti-drug or anti-violence speakers come and talk. Yeah, that's more like what I remember happening. I don't know, maybe I don't know what the kids are doing nowadays. Maybe now there are hymnals. You know, those TikTok hymnals.
Can't find it. Okay, so my middle school was about 500 in total.
Okay, so you're pretty comparable to me.
Yeah, my
So like
high school.
sometimes the band would play for a pep rally, but that's what was with instruments. Yeah, like I was part of chorus in like I took chorus classes from.
That makes so much sense.
Middle school. What is that supposed to mean?
Nothing.
What, only extra kids? I was only in the drama department for a long period of time, okay? That's not representation. You can't tell me that's representational of anything.
We never did sports things, right? As a school, like you could join a sports team, but no one cared. No one gave a shit.
Yeah, whether or not that's true here super depends on where you are. Because if you're at like part of like your, like if you're in a town of like 3,000 people, your high school football might as well be everyone's lives. But you know, hey, Adia, good to see you. Glad to have you. In my school, we had classic arts and dramatic arts to choose from. What's
Classic arts? Is that like D&D, design and technology type thing?
I love the idea that it's just classes about teaching how to do 3D printing or like vacuum forming ABS plastics.
I think that's a real thing
It's
now.
like- It should be. If it's not, I know 3D printing is much more of a thing because even in the school, in my high school, I helped like get that going and get more of that going.
So
Arts and crafts, okay.
in my high school, I think we're a little bit we obviously 3D printing was a thing, but it was not something that like a school could afford really. So, but like it was like CAD and stuff like that.
Yeah, we definitely had that for the better part of like 2 decades.
Yeah.
3D printing was just becoming affordable when I came on the scene. Like I was like, okay, hey, yo, check this out. Here's a $1,500 thing that will get you.
Yeah, I mean the shit you can do with it now compared to back then, especially, is crazy as well. Like you can do so much.
Oh
stuff
man,
with it.
we're still a year away from effective. Well, I mean, honestly, I guess we just are wrapping up the first decade of 3D printing hitting the mass market effectively, and boy, has it come a long way. I mean, just even SLA printing has come. Like the resin bath printers.
Oh yeah.
They started out. They started out. You want to get a one like this big, and it'd be like $3,000. And now you can get something that's like 6K huge bed for the same price. It's, you know, or like you can get one that's like a cell phone size, like the print bed's like this big, and then it's like $200.
Yeah, I mean,
Crazy.
like if you look in like most like hobby spaces now, like modeling spaces, like they all have 3D printers, all of them now.
Oh yeah. I mean, why wouldn't you? You know?
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna do that kind of thing, then you really should be doing those. God, we completely got off topic from our off topic there. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so my high school had about 1,000 kids in it, I think.
Okay.
So
It's about half the size of mine.
Right. I think I mentioned this the other day, but my high school was how old is it? It's Did I mention this the other day? My high school is 500 years old.
So twice the age of my country.
Yeah, we have tunnels underneath it that were used by nuns to escape the English Civil War. Oh, because it was a convent. It was like a church.
I'm looking for the Pandemonium map right now, just so.
Just because it's obnoxious.
Yeah, it's becoming obnoxious to deal with.
See, Jose, I feel like if you really like dedicated a few years to it, you could 3D print a car now.
You can. I know you can because I know people who have.
Really?
The limitations. There are certain metal parts that you need to sinter print, but you can absolutely, as long as you let people do sintering, you can definitely do it.
Yeah,
I know people who have who have used not graphene, but like nylon printing and all sorts of stuff to like make bikes. It's especially if you're talking about home manufacture, there is already home sintering, so like even that is technically can be done.
Yeah, with sufficient like investment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Ray, how old is your school then? Go on then. Give me school stats. Let's compare.
See, this is why you never fight with the English, Daniel, when it comes to age, because they're like, our history, we were ancient long before you were born.
Hey, listen, one of my favorite history things has been Cahokia lately, and that's all America.
Our state university 3D printed the world's largest 3D printed boat that can fit people in it. Yeah, see?
Is Illinois Midwest?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically the heart of America.
Okay, all right. So yeah, Cahokia is Midwest. There you go.
It's south. It's southeast of me.
Right. Okay. I had a friend from Illinois. Well, she was Illinois by way of Sudan, but yeah, she was my colleague over here. Good friend. But she got trapped over in America over COVID, and the company fired her. They were like,
"Oh
okay,
no,
you can't come back. You're gone."
That sucks.
It sucks. Especially because we used to go to Malaysia and get high together.
Oh, you held in for as long as you can. The like degenerates speak of the way in which you were of what you were consuming with said person, and then it came.
You're right. Listen, there's nothing more fun than going to KL, going to Kuala Lumpur, and going to a Nigerian club there.
You live an exciting life.
I used to.
For the love of. I used to say I had furniture older than your whole country, but I don't think I do anymore. Yeah, but you could go buy some very easily.
That's true. That's true.
Oh, that's why I couldn't figure out where to go. Because the map said there was a thing blocking my way, but it's not.
Oh, good. There's a lot of the map guides for 2 and 1, especially 1, God, are just horrendous. They're very badly made.
They really are. Well, no, like just even the map in the game too was like this patch of grass looked like it was a block in the wall on the map,
does look
but
like it's
actually
a block. Yeah.
Traversable.
It does look like a block. Oh man, I'm really looking forward to Drunk Disco Elysium stream. We need to do that. I'm gonna go nuts.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna cry. I will openly cry. Like Kim will say one word and I'll be like,
So are we gonna like take a weekend? We'll just do like we have to like set aside like, you know, like 8 and 8 or 12 and 12 hours and just hardcore do nothing but it.
Yeah, maybe we can do that in like in March, in that week off I have in March. Yeah. For the weekend. Yeah, that might work. Oh,
just because I feel like that's a game you don't want to pause and break. That's a game you don't want to break.
No.
You want to play in one fell swoop.
Right, yeah. Oh man, I love Kim Kitsuragi. I love that character.
I'm not surprised. Also, Kim's great. He is the best part. I love the... Really?
Oh, wow.
Really?
Okay.
Even the water.
Furion's kind of weak, huh?
Even the water's trying. I would love it to you. Let's go. Okay, well, we're gonna, Daniel. It's just a question of...
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll get around to it. Look at this brown mantis.
Was there a second part to the thought, or was it just... But
No, I looked at it and I thought that mantis is brown, and then I said that mantis was brown. So I guess that's the extent of my thought on the matter. And I was right.
I can't fault you. You're not wrong.
No,
You're not wrong.
I was right. The mantis was brown.
I honestly don't remember how old the school was. I know the school itself was established hundreds of years ago, but the current building was relatively new. I mean, that's the other thing. Y'all updating your infrastructure too.
Well, we were. God knows now the UK's like spiraling into collapse.
Look, not to be overly rude, but that feels like that's been the case for the better part of the past 10 years.
Oh yeah, but it's really accelerated like post-Brexit.
Yeah.
Man, Brexit was like... people over here loved to talk about Brexit. They loved it. They were crazy for it. Yeah, we'll probably... my impression, Daniel, is that we will do an Inland Empire.
Yeah, we do have to do an Inland Empire. There's so many interesting things that are probably going to pop up from that. I just had based relatively high Inland Empire because of how I just chose stats and stuff, and the amount of things that popped up from that were crazy.
Yeah, Inland Empire. I mean, most of the skills have some really interesting stuff to do with them, but yeah, definitely Inland Empire. But, oh my god, what was I going to say?
Well, Inland Empire is actually even better for a second playthrough because the amount of stuff that is basically not literal foreknowledge, but being presented as... Oh, no.
Ooh. Well, maybe. This game's been pretty easy so far. I believe in us.
I feel like you just cursed us.
Okay, you might be right. Touch wood, touch wood, touch wood.
Hope Ultima works well.
Well, should heal it.
Yeah, right. Come on, be a little bitch.
Oh, lame! What was that?
That was... Oh, okay. At least he doesn't do crazy damage.
Yeah. Oh, good. It's definitely gonna like...
Taste lightning, fucker!
It's definitely gonna like enrage timer us though if we don't kill it fast enough, right? Oh, never mind.
Oh, it did enrage! Enraged itself to death.
Oh man, like the Dolores Day stuff in that game drives me fucking insane. Every time she's mentioned, I'm like, oh my god, it's so beautifully written. The fact that like she's sort of implied to be, well, she's not even implied to be. She's just like people around her perceived her as this alive, dead, ultimately benevolent, ultimately evil creature all at the same time was so fantastic.
She's such a perfect representation for the personification of a caring universe and an uncaring universe at the same time.
Yeah. Oh, my first run, Daniel, was intellect-based, which was cool. There was some really interesting stuff there, especially with solving the crimes.
Yeah, that's, I think, the way I went, too.
Yeah, and then I did full empathy, and then I've also done a full physical one, but which is kind of, like, it's hard to be nice when you're doing a full physical one, which is fine. That's a valid way to play the game. But the...
I mean, it's a good game because it has that breadth.
Yeah.
Of possible ways to engage with it.
I haven't done an electrochemistry one though. Not electrochemistry. What's that one? Motorics or motorifics or whatever it's called. Yeah, the yellow one.
You haven't done the one that's all about getting high yet?
I haven't because I always feel so bad. Kim's like watching me do it, and he's always really pissed off about it. I know that you can do it at night, but who's that guy?
Yeah, what the fuck is that? Is he a Pokemon trainer? Is he gonna challenge us when we walk by?
Oh god, I hope so.
All of a sudden, just pop, like you just like get a whole set of like 6 Pokemon. It's Pokemon Showdown just pops up.
You can do that in Dragon Quest. You can tame monsters and fight other monsters. Like in oh yeah, you've played Journey of the Cursed King. Of course you have, haven't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you know the monster arena and stuff. I believe in you.
I can't get close to him. What can I do for you? Oh, he's just got spells.
He doesn't even have that good ones. We already have some of these.
He doesn't even have like things. Thank you! I would have hoped he at least had items.
Yeah, like sell us a few like Phoenix sounds, dude.
I'm hoping that there's another man to talk to.
I hate these trick rooms that this game has. They're so boring.
Why? Why? It serves no function other than to delay.
It's just a way to get you to trigger more random encounters, which is just not fun. Every time I think about hoarding items for like the end boss, which is I always do. I'm that person that's like, no, I'm not going to use any of my potions like for the whole game and fuck myself over. But I always think about like Dragon Age Origins, where like the first time I played that, I got to the Archdemon with like 200 health poultices.
Just a little bit of backup.
Oh, look at Tiny Easter. That's so cute.
This coming from the Lalafell.
Okay, fair point. Well, yeah, I mean, that makes sense, right?
Friendly reminder that our new video, Lyrical Lore Forging Crimson for Rubicante's theme, is up as of yesterday. So if you haven't, definitely go check that out.
Yes, I saw that. As a big Rubicante stan, I did smile very much.
It's a good song. It's also a fucking very fast song. Editing it was fun, but also a lot of clips.
Yeah, I bet.
Oh god. Mega Parasite.
I was about to say something funny there, but I couldn't think of it, so I guess I just won't. Why don't they all heal off of our Steve?
I'm guessing it's... I'm gonna check whatever's. I'm gonna switch your stabs.
Ice Lizard. I think I said this the other week, but I've been getting big into Monster Hunter Ecology content lately. And man, I just love that. I like playing the games. I don't love playing the games, but like I like Monster Hunter World. But man, the ecology is so much cooler than anything that the gameplay can deliver.
Niniri, there's precisely 7 people in the world who think that, and you are 6 of them somehow.
Yeah, you might be right.
No, but like I'm not surprised, right? They seem to put a lot of effort into that.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, especially in World, that's kind of like World's hallmark, is that it really leans into the ecology and stuff like that.
Yeah, which is nice because it makes everything feel a lot more holistic. World was the first one that really, like, I had tried to play most Monster Hunters, but I never really was able to get super into them.
Yes,
but World was the first one where I was like, yeah, okay, this is like, now we're feeling better.
Yeah, so I can play World. I did not get on with the PSP ones, despite kind of loving the PSP. And I tried Rise recently, and I just do not like it. That's the Switch exclusive one.
I bounced off it too. Well, they just releasing it on the other platform.
Oh, are they? But I just didn't like it. I was like, this feels so clunky to play.
Which is weird because there's so much more. It's more fast. It's supposed to be more fluid, but like it doesn't. It didn't control very well. I found.
No, I didn't find that it controlled very well at all. Whereas I found that World controlled pretty well. These guys be draining. Oh, okay. I see that Easter is...
There's not a lot I can do.
No.
He's too low level.
He's here to moral support. He's a Dracoon in spirit. What class builds are we gonna do in 3?
Oh, that's a good question.
I kind of want to do.
Just, like, Go for it.
I kind of want to do some of the weirder ones, like at least a little bit, like have at least one person doing a weird one, like a Geomancer or like a something like that.
Well, I was gonna say I'm torn, right? Because I'm torn between making everyone use like what their canonic classes are from the trailer, remake, yeah. And then, but also I want to use like the other jobs too. I don't know. I'm torn on that. Just all Geomancers, or what if it's like we only pick jobs that are in 14? Well, no, because actually most of those jobs are in 14 at this point.
Yeah, I mean even Viking, like the air slate exists. Wait, that hasn't come out yet. Oh, okay. Yeah, well we did a lore talk again, guys, recently.
Oh yes, we got Lore Talk. Yeah. Our Lore Talk Glimpse and Limits will be coming out probably next week. Is the current plan.
Yes. I hope
For
you
those
enjoy
of
it.
you like our longer form content and enjoy me and Neri just talking to each other for long periods of time, which I know is a thing that some are known to enjoy. V, Fortune Crimson was great. You did an awesome job putting that together. Thanks, V.
Okay, I want at least a scholar or a geomancer, one of those two. The rest of them can be like normie classes, but I want at least one of those two weird classes. And I kind of feel like we have to have a summoner.
Yeah, I was gonna say we need a summoner too.
Yeah, I like pet classes, but I never play summoner in 14.
Have you tried New Summoner?
No.
It's so fun.
Okay, I believe
Someone
that
back
it
me up
is,
on this.
yeah.
New Summoner is like plays like butter. It's just like, what if they mix Summoner from 14 with JoJo's Bizarre Adventure?
Okay.
Because you're basically your summons are now your stands, basically.
Okay, that's interesting. I like that.
And they're very fluid and it plays very well. Because you got like Garuda, you're just like blasting. You got like 4 shots that you're blasting really quick. Titan, you're doing like more like earthy, chunky blasts, and then Ifrit, you're like going in, like leaping in, firing a giant fireball on a cast timer, and then getting the fuck out.
Okay, I like that.
Garuda might as well be GCD or OGCDs because her cast time is like 1 second, so it's effectively just an OGCD.
Oh, interesting. That makes a lot of sense for Garuda, so I like that.
Right.
I can't believe that it's been this long. Like, it's been, what, like 2 or 3 reworks, complete reworks, since they announced the edgy glamours, and then...
Oh, the Eggy Glands?
Yeah, and then they still haven't done them.
Well, I think it's partly because they did the rework, so the Eggy Glam doesn't make as much sense anymore, because, like, they don't really exist. Like, Carby Glams would make sense now, but, like, the Eggies don't really exist.
I guess it would have to
Effectively
be, like,
because they're...
animation changes, right? Which is something that would be cool, but not such an important thing.
No, I mean, I think what they should do is just release the other Carbuncle skins, which I know there's actually interesting lore reasons why they haven't, but in this case, fuck the lore, let people have their Moonstone Carbuncle.
I mean, we can drive the regalia around. There's no reason not to have yeah.
See, but if we use that argument, then everything is fair game, and maybe that's a bridge too far.
Okay, yeah, maybe you're right. But, like, okay. I trust myself to use it discriminatively.
Oh, I'm not worried about you. Oh, V, thank you. Yeah, I'm glad you liked it. Summoner as it now feels more like a summoner rather than being a chicken nugget plague doctor that it previously was.
Okay,
That's the way to put it.
We said this. I said this the other day, but as a former as a former priest player who used to play a bit of Shadow Priest and like spreading dots around, I kind of miss that. But I also understand that this is way more summoner into fantasy. And also, they could always do like, if they do like pharmacist as a class or something like that, then
yeah, chemist I think would be a really fun class. A ranged DPS chemist.
Yes. Yes.
This is the castle of hell, pandemonium. I love Summoner now. My only disappointment is not having more Eggy to summon. I hope in 7.0 another Eggy is added. Definitely could happen.
Yeah, I think something like that could be an interesting way to take like horizontal development for the class if they stop leveling up.
Yeah, I think the other thing I would say about like the rework for Summoner from Endwalker is that they've made it so that Summoner's in a very simple place right now, in a way that's really good for they're going to be able to build on the foundation of it going forwards.
Right.
Like there's like I wouldn't be surprised if we saw another Primal or something else added into its mix.
What Primal would you choose if you could choose any?
That's hard because I feel like if I was going to add another Primal, what I would do is I would just start throwing in the 3 others so you have all 6 elements, but I think that's too much.
Yeah, and if you can't have all of them, why have any of them, right? Why not just go with like Shiva? Well, yeah, well, Shiva would stand out as one that you could have because Eorzean has such a bond. Like they keep calling back to her, which is good.
Well, I would probably do something like Hydaelyn maybe, or Zodiark.
Yeah, I guess. I don't. You're right, but I don't like it. I don't. I feel like
the thing is like.
I feel like revisiting Hydaelyn is the wrong way to go. I feel like she had a very satisfying end.
Oh, but I don't think that. But the thing is, I don't have any. You don't need to revisit them, right? The point about how Aggies work in lore is that you were around a primal when they were slain, and part of their aether was brought into you.
Yes, but I still feel
So,
bad
like-
about that. I don't know. I feel like I know it's not her, but I feel like it would just prolong her long walk, and I'm like, I think she's done it. And I know it wouldn't, but
Well,
instead,
then Zodiark.
yeah, Zodiark might work. But then I want like a little tiny Asahi face on his like butt or something if we do that. For me, Shiva is the obvious choice. Oh, Kane's agrees with me on that.
Yeah, she would be my. But yeah, but like she is. I mean, I guess of Shiva, Leviathan, or Ramu, Shiva is the obvious choice because of our connection with the Assailed, but also, I don't know. I feel like you could say the same thing about Shiva you could say about Hydaelyn.
Yeah. What else could we go with? Give us something like completely out of the blue, like Bismarck.
Yeah, just Susano. Just like go full battle mode.
Oh, I would love Susano. I love that. Maybe what else could we? Odin. You could go Odin. He's optional
That'd be
content
cool.
now, isn't he?
Yeah, he's not mandatory. So.
Gilgamesh.
Gilgamesh, yeah. Well, I mean, it's still optional content.
It
Is he
shouldn't
even
be.
a primal?
No, he's not primal. But he does have a like his fight. Like, was he the first trial? No, because Ultimate Weapon is. I was gonna say, is he the first trial that isn't a primal? But no, that was Ultimate Weapon.
Ultimate Weapon is just like, you just like make it a little bit of machinist, so you throw the Ultimate Weapon in there.
That would be really interesting, actually. Like an apparatus. What else could you do?
No, can I get you to let me? Can I get you to tell me what the hell?
The mithril golem.
kill
Yeah.
This goddamn golem.
Yes.
What's his goddamn weakness?
What is he? FF2 mithril golem. Okay. Thunder spells.
Cool. I have one character who can do that, so I just need to keep him alive.
I wonder if you could do something Allegan themed, like
Oh, that's smart, especially.
yeah, because of the the flavor of the thunder. Maybe
Well, and also wearing Triad themed because we're going into Marasidia.
exactly. That's what
Well,
I was
guess I'm
just
assuming that.
I was just about to say that. Mooring Triad, Marasidia, Alleg, it all sort of ties together nicely. And you can they don't need to be three separate things, right? They can be like a conjoined
No.
thing.
Yeah, I think that's what we do. I love that we're just like I've just at this point saying like we're definitely doing it's Marasidia. There's no question, despite the fact that there's no. Okay, there's lots of subtle reasons to assume that that's the case, but there's no like. It's not like a for sure gone, done deal.
I would be very surprised if it wasn't though. Like really, it's possible, but yeah. Oh, trust me, Adia. I would love to see. I would love to see a watercaster. I've said many times I would love to see a watercaster. I made a whole point in the was it the Amdapor or the Nim?
Yep.
Yeah. Lo talks about how I believe that
Not
the
the
reason
water
there isn't
wizard.
one is because, well, in fact, not because there isn't one. Them not having one caused the water of the calamity of water / it's all predestined cyclical anyway. But I think that's the in-world explanation for maybe that people would use for it. The fact, because it was a calamity of water, all the other forms of water of Aether were drained, or aspected wrongly, or polarized, and the fact that there were no casters using water except for like white mages a tiny bit. I think that's what caused that calamity with all the caveats involved. But yeah, I would love water casters are one of my favorite casters. Like I sort of merged watercasting into my green mage fantasy that I have, which will never happen.
Well, but okay, but this is what I say. People who want Green Mage like that, they kind of just channeled Green Mage into Ast. Right?
Yes, they did.
Like,
Yeah, like the gravity spells and the
and the support functions of Green Mage and like the speeding up stuff.
yeah. They kind of left behind the debuff focus of it, but then again, that's really hard to do in an MMO anyway. So.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel at this point you would just include, you'd have to make, like, Saboteur-style stuff, just either a job in and of itself, or... I mean, like, the problem is if you add that as utility, then you end up in a situation where it's like, well, you want to bring that guy because you need the debuffs, but you don't want to mandate that job. So that's why they kind of, like, spread debuffing stuff across the jobs.
Right, and
King Bogglebog!
Yeah, I'd love King Bogglebog. But it's also really hard to balance debuffs, like... The way that they interact individually would be really hard to calculate, I think. If they were to be anything interesting at all, at least. So yeah, I don't think it would. I think it would work in like a really free-form, sort of throw it all at the wall to see what sticks model MMO, like Classic WoW or 11. You know, with like the you know how they built like Ninja to be a DPS class, and it became a tank class entirely accidentally in 11 because they could dodge a lot. So, like in an MMO where that kind of stuff flies.
Tank.
Yeah, exactly. So like like mage tank meta WoW or like 11 or like EverQuest, that kind of class would work. But in a modern MMO, I just don't think I can't see it.
Yeah, I'm torn because I can see it if they commit to there being a role.
Yes, it would have to be a
role.
role.
That's the way I can see it. Yeah. But beyond that, no. I think like implementing it into only one job just becomes a balancing problem.
Yeah, it would definitely have to be a role.
Even if it can be done, it's a balancing nightmare. And I think that's the other thing people sometimes miss is just because something can be done doesn't mean the amount of energy, time, and headache it will be is worth it for the games.
Right, yeah, no, I agree. So, Daniel's come up with a really interesting point. He said, if we go to Mericidia, I would like to see a Dragon caster. Now, see, I disagree. I would like to see them play into the mentioned, but not often talked about, lore fact that the major dragons, especially the Great Worms, can mind control Scalekin, basically. Like, on a massive scale, like armies of them, without even thinking about it. And I would like to see I would like to see sort of a Beastmaster, like a Lizardmaster type thing, where you like have dragonflies and biasts and stuff like that.
Oh, that would be interesting. My thing I think worth remembering is that Mericidia is not the dragon place. Like, Mericidia is not any more the dragon place than, like, in some ways, like Ritra is of Thavner. It's like there's a much broader culture beyond that, and they were just more the like overseers that they came in and were like benevolent helpers. And so my thing is just I would want to be like careful of not treating Mericidia as like Dragon Place #1. I'd much rather see the different cultural groups that exist with different practices. Kind of like how Dancer exists on Thavner, right? But one thing, we know that there's like there's groups that have like famed masks and stuff in Mericidia, and maybe what if there's like a class that uses different masks that grant different like ethereal powers or something that you swap between, or you know. And I would love something that's like, we have Dragoon, we have dragons, we have like something more original, you know.
I think that's fair to say. Oh, ow. Oh, wow. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I think that's a reasonable thing to say. And you're right. Mericidia is a very diverse, racially and culturally speaking continent. Very, very diverse. But I do think it would be interesting to see how the culture of the landscape has reacted to the fact that the dragons fought so hard for them.
Sure. Yeah, no, I want the cultural stuff. It's more the job stuff. And on top of that, the fact that there haven't been any of the first brood there in a long time. You know, and so the dragons that would exist there are more remnants than anything. Makes me want to see, like, what you know, most of the Mericidian dragons, right, were taken to be put in Downwood.
Right.
And then Bahamut was killed and resummoned and put into the sphere. And then Tiamat, her brood was taken by, you know, her brood was partially taken, also partially used to summon Lunar Bahamut, and then, you know, she's been trapped for all this time. So it's not like, I would wonder if the presence there is actually much more vestigial.
I think it's definitely like a smaller scale type thing. If there's any dragons there, they're like, you know, they're not a great kingdom probably, or at least they're not a standalone kingdom. You know, they might have merged into other nations and become a major part of those nations, but I don't think they're ruling the continent or anything. And they never did, of course.
Greg, 14 should make up a job again. Reaper was good, not very good, but good. I would disagree. I think it's very good, especially in lore and stuff. I mean, if the problem is that it's doesn't do enough damage, I mean, that's a balancing issue. But I think Reaper's actually was a phenomenal job, both aesthetically. And it's also interesting because Reaper actually in the scythe usage and some other aspects of it do come from older games, the same way that, like, ideas and aspects of Sage are, like, Sage is just as original. Yes, it uses the name that's been used before, but new liths haven't existed in 14 at all.
I mean, the Reaper has more in common with 11 Dark Knight than Sage does with any Sage class. So,
yeah.
Yeah, Sage is very much.
I think they're going to come up with the original. Yeah, so I think they're almost certainly going to come up with an original job idea, but I do think we'll get Geomancer eventually. I wouldn't be surprised if Geomancer was like one of the final jobs, because they keep nodding at it with like the Shugendo stuff and the Gosetsu stuff and the like all the like Geomancer lore, not only in the Ast quest, but also in and around Othard. I would basically say whenever we spend a decent amount of time in Hingashi and go to Hingashi proper, is probably the expansion or time when we'll get Geomancy.
I think that's fair. And they did really nod at Beastmaster in Bozja and at Chemist in Shadowbringers.
Shadowbringers, yeah. Boomerangs, though. I mean, but boomerangs are just chakrams at this point, right?
Yeah.
Like the chakrams might as well just be boomerangs.
The only way that you could go is like a Dynasty Warriors Durong, like a two-handed boomerang, like a big boomerang.
Like Sango boomerang from Inuyasha.
Yeah, that kind of vibe. You could go with that, which would be cool.
Yeah.
But like a one-handed boomerang is just a chakram. Yeah.
How about a Magitech base job like what Gunbreaker was? Well, Gunbreaker's not Magitech, because remember, Gunbreaker's magical. The cartridges are magic infused. So like, really, Gunbreaker isn't any, and is all about magic uses. Like the reason that Thancred can't use Aurora or any of the stuff like that is he is like unable to weave magics. So you're still using ethereal manipulation. It's just you're using a tool the same way that like a thaumaturge would use a tool as a foci, right? But yeah. To your point about Magitech, yeah, I think you could have like a Corvosi Allegan based job or something like that. But
that's
then again,
what I was
you gotta
thinking.
make sure it's something that's yeah, but it's got to be different enough from Machinist is the problem.
Yeah, the only way to do it is with Corvos. In my mind, you could maybe do like power armor, like a power armor based job or something. But then again, that has such interplay with the gear mechanic that like it wouldn't really work. No, because then again, Mechanist has that big cannon as well, so it couldn't be that. Drill.
Yeah, it would have to be something very, very different.
A big drill.
Maybe it could also be something like think about like Chemist, but it's like etherochemistry.
You could do that.
You know,
you could 100% do that. Because I was convinced, like, Thavnair is the land of alchemists. I was like, oh, we're going to Thavnair, we're getting chemists. But no, so maybe like etherochemistry, which is of course the thing that we have. That could be it. Yeah, we could definitely do that. Okay, just before we wipe on this fight, I need to run to the toilet. Hold on.
Clench your assholes, folks. I picked the wrong target. Oh, thank God. Woo! Neri has no faith in you, Elio. Yeah, I had to go to the new job Legatus armor. No, you're basically arguing to make a, fascist dictatorship job that as a, no. Like the 1.0 cutscene where Gaia speeds up the sounds. No, I wouldn't expect that. Because like they're not going to use iconography of Garlemald. Like that's why Reaper's the closest you get, because it is a symbol of Garlemald's past, but not of the Empire in the same way. Especially having just dealt with the Empire, they're not going to give us that. And then also like the gun that he has, like the arm gun from the 1.0 cutscene, isn't so different from Machinist in and of itself. So you'd have to really do something different and interesting. Otherwise, you're just crossing over to too great an extreme.
I'm back, and also you're wrong, Daniel. I do have faith in Elio. I was just gaslighting him into winning.
Well, it worked.
Hell yeah.
What we need to think about with any new job is what weapon they would use, since that kind of defines most 14 jobs. Yeah, Daniel, whenever we talk about jobs, that's the first thing we hit on. It's like, what is the weapon that defines the job?
Yeah, you think of the concept, like the very, very bare bones concept, or even just the name, and then you think of the weapon that goes along with it. Like chemist,
and it has to be something that
alembic. Like you could just have a fancy alembic for it or something.
Oh, I see. I don't think you do alembic. I think you do like a belt of tools. So like it's like a satchel of potions, and then they can make all sorts of types of satchels. Because then it's just like animations for like you reaching down and throwing the potion, right?
Okay.
And so then it's like, okay, you could have one that's like got really cool stuff. It's just a bunch of potions. Then there's like one that's like they do one that's
the clipping though.
Oh, well, I mean the clipping for that into your... Well, I guess for the armor, yeah, you're probably right.
Hear me out, slingshot.
You gotta pitch me on that.
You just slingshot your potions into them, you have like a cool Dennis the Menace slingshot that you like fire a potion into a boss with. And you can have like an Allergan one that's glowy and shit. Like, I'm on this trait. I also think you could do like a... Actually, I don't know.
Dude, if we don't get a Blitzball job, I hope we at least get a Blitzball Chakram.
I was just thinking, I was like, I was gonna say, well, I don't know if we need a Blitzball job, but we definitely need a Chakram that's a Blitzball. Like, 100% we need it.
I'm really hoping... I'm setting myself up for disappointment here, but I'm really hoping that, like, Blitzball ends up being, like, a Mericidian pastime or something.
That would be really cool, because, like, it's, like, so Australian.
Yeah.
It just feels spiritually Australian, like as a sport.
Yeah. I mean, it's basically like rugby, but it's rugby mixed with three-dimensional water polo.
Okay, well, rugby's British, but that's okay.
Yeah, but the Australians took that from you long ago.
They did. They did. And the New Zealanders do it better than us, so there's that.
Kiwis be kicking your Kiwis.
They do. They do. It's true. Yeah, but no, I mean, like, we definitely need a Blitzball Chakram. I just feel like we need a chemist at some point, and, like, Geomancer. We need Geomancer at some point. What would Geomancer have again? What is the,
Bell.
Yeah, the bell. Yeah.
I would go with Bell. Yeah. In 14, some of the Hingen ones have, like some, like, totem things.
Yeah,
that are pretty close to, like, conjurers.
I think they also have, one of them has the one from the Astro Quest has like a one-handed stave, like the old Stormtist.
That's what I meant by like the totem thing.
Yeah, but I don't think there's any reason to go with that. I think a bell is the obvious choice.
Yeah, and I think the bell's different enough. On top of that, the thing about it is that there are multiple like practitioners of different branches of geomancy, so it's easy to be like, oh, the one you're learning from is a Mericidian style geomancer, and that's why it's kind of different to Hingen or Doman geomancy, and they use bells instead. It's,
I mean, yeah, it could be that, and then just think about like the diversity of religion in Japan. You could always just say like this part of Hingashi does it with bells, this part does it with staves, or there's like a million ways you can go, right?
Yeah. Super easy.
Yeah, Geomancer's
Danger
definitely
Mouse.
the best setup one.
What's the Danger Mouse thing?
Oh man, Danger Mouse is I do think it is a British cartoon, but if it's not, then it's the one that was mostly popular in Britain.
and it's like an old like. I don't think it's Hanna-Barbera, but the animation always reminded me of it. And it was like a mouse superhero. What is it? Was he like a spy or something? Yeah, he was a spy. And it was kind of like inspired by James Bond. It was like a parodic version of James Bond.
Interesting. Well, it seems to be distracting Ray. It seems the Pandemonium theme sounds similar.
Does it? Yeah, it does actually a little bit.
I wonder if the it is British. Okay. I'm wondering though if they'll go down to one job just because like also they're going to be struggling to fill like archetypes in the future, you know?
I think they should go down to one job. Yeah, I think they should 100%. I honestly think they should have gone down to one job with Endwalker.
Oh no, there was still plenty of room for that. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised 7.0 is the last time they do 2 jobs, but
I don't know. It's not that I dislike any of the jobs that came with Endwalker. They're good. They're both good, but they could have spaced them out, and I don't think we would have lost anything. I don't think anything is lost from not having playable either Reaper or Sage. I think Sage is the obvious one to go.
No, because Charlene's so important, and the level to which it like imparts. I mean, think about Alfino and his inheriting of the new liths and what those mean as a symbol, and like I feel like there's a lot lost.
But don't you think like Alizé doesn't Alizé get Red Mage implicate like foreshadowing before we get Red Mage?
Yeah, I mean kind of. I mean 3.4, yeah.
Yeah, so I feel like we could have gotten that with Alphino, and then we could have gotten Sage in the
right, but the catharsis, but Endwalker's supposed to be the catharsis, right? It's supposed to be that point of like reconciliation, and also him taking up his father's new list when his father has abandoned them in order to save the world, and his father's doing it. I feel like there's a lot of narrative consequence to the Sage.
It existing in lore is important, and Alphino being able to be one is important. I just think if we need it to be one until next expert.
Well, but especially though you don't want to have, if you want to, for balance, want to have 2 barrier healers and 2 pure healers, you don't want to have only one barrier healer. Or, you know, you don't want to force everyone to have to play Scholar.
That was an invention of... Oh no, that was an invention of Shadow Fingers, wasn't it?
Yeah, and also I think that was for the better.
I think it was as well. I don't think the switching stances was a particularly valuable thing for Astra.
Yeah, I mean, like, so the thing is I mean, of the 2, Reaper can go because, you know, we already have a ton of melee DPS, but I also don't think Reaper should go.
Right.
You know, there's so much of the world that's expanded by that, and the amount of player base able to further express the type of way that they want to play by it. I just can't. I think that's super valuable.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you're right. But I do think going forward, there should just be one.
I mean, just think about, like, what I was talking about with specs, right? About how, like, roles are your jobs, and then you choose your spec by choosing your one in it. So having a breadth of that is important. The same way that I think there should be 4 of at least every role. So there needs to be 4 of range. They need another ranged DPS, and they need another caster, in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think the most obvious, except for maybe Beastmaster, the most obvious options do fall into those roles. Like, you could have Pharmacist as ranged DPS, you could have
Geomancer.
Yeah, Geomancer as a caster. I think that's already set up quite well.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not counting my chickens here, though. They like, we all thought it was going to be an established job, except for the Necromancer theorists. But they pulled the rug out from underneath us.
Well, that's why it's healing. It's supposed to be a stat that you hit your allies with healing.
Oh. Okay. Jose, I don't think we need a new tank right now.
No, I tank main. The tanks are in a really balanced place. They could technically tune Paladin up a little bit to just a little more damage, but like a very small amount. But beyond that, tanks are the last thing in the world we need is another tank.
Yeah, we really we don't need it.
I play like 80% of my time is tanks. Tanks are incredibly in a good place And there's just so many other things that need jobs. We need another scouting. We need another ranged DPS. We need another caster. Hell, I would take another healer before another tank, just so that there was an even wider breadth of like barrier options or primary healer options. I think we have as many tanks as we need for now. What we need is a new caster. Yeah. 100% agree.
New caster, new range DPS, and then we can think about other things past that. We can maybe think about that support / debuff role then, but yeah, I think casters are actually in quite a hungry place for a new one. As much as I hear that someone
the last one we had was Red Mage, so they're the most due to get at this point.
Right? And Red Mage almost feels thematically like a half caster. I mean, it's not, but it almost feels a little bit that way. So I just feel like they really need something.
Well, and we got a ranged DPS in Shadowbringers with Dancer. So.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think we go Cancer, what? I think we go Caster, ranged DPS, and then we think about what else we can do for them.
If they bite, usually they turn into a werewolf.
Oh, okay. Hot. Wait, where?
I want a new caster and a new fizz range. Yeah, I mean, those are the most obvious choices, right? Because think about it. We're not going to get melee DPS we just got, healer we just got, tank we don't need, and also had one in Shadowbringers. Fizz ranged, we had one in Shadowbringers, but, you know, we potentially need another. Caster we super are going to get because the last one we had was in Stormblood, and also there's only 3 casters. Beyond that, the only other argument is scouting. Like, the only argument you can make is if they see scouting as a different type of thing, then they could be like, well, the last time we had one was ARR.
I wonder if perhaps you could put scouting gear in a ranged.
Yeah, I'm not versed well enough to know like the way in which that would be cause fuckery with statting. But...
Yeah, I don't know how that would work with statting, but I don't see why it couldn't work, but I can't make that presumption, I suppose.
Yeah, although a lot of ninja gear on like a ranged DPS would be pretty dope.
Yeah, exactly. It would look cool, right?
I wonder what the expectation for time to clear with these games when they came out. You know, like think about it. Sorry, just one moment. Yeah, okay. You know, you have were they expected to be cleared, you know, quickly? I mean, they were supposed to take, I'm assuming, like months. Especially if you didn't know what you were doing, there was no internet, and also the amount of grinding you'd have to do. If you had a busy life, you didn't have time for it.
Yeah, if you had a busy life, maybe months. If you were like playing a lot, like if you were like a teenager or something and you were playing a lot, a few weeks maybe. And so much of that relies on it just being oblique and obnoxious. Like, I wonder if 2 had a much shorter playtime when it first came out because it's slightly less that.
You don't be a monster. Oh, fuck you! Oh no.
Unsurprisingly.
Astaroth. Azeroth? What?
No, Astaroth. It's a demon. It's a goetic demon. He's kind of cool.
You know it's a demon from the Goetta.
I like his art. He looks cool. He's like a little Cthulhu angel.
Oh, please don't be. Okay, looking up how to kill him.
Okay, yeah, I will also. You want me to do that? You can look on chat.
Sure, I just don't want to. Yeah, I don't want to fucking
Wipe. Yep.
try to attack him and call.
Oh, he's hot in the remake. In the remake ones. Okay. Oh, okay. That's the second most dangerous enemy in the game, apparently.
Hooray!
Okay, so.
Oh, great. And the nearest.
Oh, yeah. I was gonna say focus on protective spells because he resists magic damage. So just use your caster to cast like protective spells in your party. Blink and shield if you have it. And then once you've done that, you can osmose to drain him of his MP. Okay, this is. I think that now that we're in this portion of the game, having the blood sword on Elio that takes a fraction of their health away would be really useful.
Yeah, but they won't let you switch mid-battle.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to, I guess, just buff up as much as we can if we can get Neri up again.
Okay, what can I use on him? I also don't have a level 8 teleport, so I can't get away from him. What is he immune to?
Okay, let me have a look. He's immune to. I bet he's immune to everything. He's immune to. Stats. Oh, okay. He's not immune to like death, body, poison. He resists ice, lightning, and fire. So basically any element
Can I
of damage.
slow him?
It doesn't say not. So yeah.
Can I silence him?
Is this a GBA version?
This is the Pixel Remaster.
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. It doesn't say that you can't here. It doesn't say that you can't on this wiki page, so I guess so.
Okay.
I don't know what the chances of doing it are, though. Did that work?
We'll find out.
I guess we will. Okay, so yeah, just mainline. Oh yes, it works. Nice, very good.
Okay, I'm just gonna use up a bunch of items on him then.
Okay, yeah, just blast him. So anyway, I started blasting.
Okay, you said so Bloodsword's out. What was the strategy?
Basically cast a bunch of shields on you, on your party, like blink and all of that, and then drain his MP and just wail on him with your physical attackers. Or you know, whatever other ways you do, just doing mundane damage without the bloodsword. Can we sleep? Yeah, that might work.
Might try.
Man, I forgot about these little mini super bosses that just pop up in these games.
Well, this is also why there should be rooms like in 4 where you can get these safe. You know, like how there's rooms where you can save in them.
Yeah, I hate not being able to save semi-regularly. Like, I don't mind difficult content, but it's like in certain Dark Souls, like what's that one fight? Is it the Smelter Knight in 2? Where there's a huge
Smelter
run
Demon?
back. Yeah, Smelter Demon.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah, that's a whole fucking thing.
yeah, beat my ass, but I don't want to run all the way back to you. Like, give me a not too long one. Wait, Wyvern? You can use the Wyvern?
You can apparently.
Huh. Oh, but he resists fire, so.
Okay, Neri doesn't. I'm gonna use. Back up. How much HP does he have?
He has got 7,000 HP.
Okay, I can deal with that.
Yeah, that's not too much, I guess. Okay, alright. Oh my god. The fandom wikis, like the websites, are getting worse and worse.
Yep.
I'm always so happy when I see that a new fandom has like an independent wiki. I'm like, oh, thank god. I think Fallout just recently got one.
He doesn't count as undead, right?
I'm almost certain not, no. He's doesn't say so. No, he just counts as a boss. Okay, so he is a boss. Okay. I'm glad that we're not going to fight more of these dudes then. The lore section here says that he's the foremost general of Satan. And I mean, like, considering that hell exists, I could have assumed, but it's crazy that Satan exists in this game.
Oh, that's implicative of so many things. Let's make sure I don't go down in hits.
At least we're getting some challenge out of these games now. There wasn't a single fight in one that was difficult.
Fuck.
Oh, no, that's fine.
Okay, magic.
I believe in you, Elio. Don't listen to what Daniel says about me. I have faith in you.
I thought Daniel was talking shit about me right now. I don't want to go back. I want to complete today. Slow. Okay. Sleep. Sleep. That's right. We can do this.
We can. We're doing good damage on Elio, at least.
Ooh! Yeah!
Oh, nice. See, I told you, Daniel.
Okay. Asshole unclenched. That's the first time I've actually heard the victory music in the entire time of playing FF2 and felt it.
Yeah, I mean, there's value to that, I guess.
Oh, hey, ribbon!
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's probably pretty good on Neri, right?
11, 15, 10 versus 11. Oh, a huge magic defense. 15. Honestly, the agility is probably actually more important. But on the off chance. We'll put a ribbon in your hair, you're pretty.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I will wear it with pride.
Is anybody even in chat? Can I get some excitement for the fact that we're alive?
We got 8 people in chat, same as before. I think they're just all asleep. Man, the Marlboro is a classic design, but is it a good design?
Yes! It's not pretty, but I think it's a good design. Because think about it this way. It's a tangled mess of chaos, and you can still identify what it is easily.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah.
You know? Can you identify what...
I had a little...
That's my question. Can you identify what the thing's supposed to be?
Yeah, easily, right? I had a little moment of Aurum Vale induced PTSD there, maybe.
Double diamond shield. East is just our item caddy, so...
God bless you, sir. Bombs. I'm assuming these are going to go down in one hit. Yeah. Okay.
Smack him with your staff.
Beat the shit out of that ball of fire. Oh, there's a new Vati shot. I have to watch that later.
Ah,
An inspiration to us all.
no.
I mean-
Okay, Greg. Well, we can sit for a second and listen to it.
It's a good theme.
Actually, I'm curious if it'll pop up meaningfully in the finals here.
I think so. It's got so much potential, right?
I'm just imagining Eric Thonios standing up to his mother.
Yeah, it's got that sort of triumphant swell to it. And I feel like you put like a little bit of like something nasty on this, and you tune it up. I think
Yeah.
this would make a really good song for Bowie.
Yeah, I mean, Soken does like like Soken did that with the World of Darkness theme, or I'm pretty sure it was Soken. I don't know if the reorchestration was Uematsu, but and that shit was great.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose this is probably like a bit of a remastered song version, isn't it? I think it would be strange for them to not use the Pandemonium theme in the last tier, like just speaking generally.
Which floor is this on? We're on floor 4.
So I did a little bit of looking into Satan in this game, and apparently there's a novelization of this game in which Satan is the main enemy, like the final villain.
But did they like take over? Wait, but isn't? Did they just add him in? Is it like that he's the one who brought back the Emperor?
Yeah, he's like the mastermind behind the Emperor in the novelization.
I suppose that makes sense.
I guess so, yeah.
And also I know why that wasn't released in the West.
Well, yeah. It's probably also not very good. Well, I mean, I don't know that. Maybe it is. Who am I to judge?
7th floor. We're getting close.
Oh, I never realized this, but there's Oh, that makes sense. This song also shows up in 9, which makes sense because there's Castle Pandemonium is also placed there.
Right. I'm going to be so freaking thankful for when random encounters like this are not as constant.
Yeah, it's. I think there's value to be had in random encounters, but they don't need to be.
I
quite
also think
so.
there's only a value to be had in random encounters if you include a repel item in your game.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It just feels like the most basic need when you have a CRPG or even anything that like apes to it.
Are there any repel items in like any of the Pixel games?
Yeah, I think they do include them, right? What are they called in 14? Well, in Final Fantasy, sorry. Repellent. Oh, well, 7 has, but that's not one of the Pixel ones. No, okay. I don't think there is, which is bizarre. I really thought that, like, at least 6 did, but I guess not. But, like,
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little tempted to like go into the code and like see if there's a way to like
lower
turn
the
off
chance.
variable, or like turn down the variable for.
Yeah,
as
probably, right? I mean, I would think
yeah,
so.
I'm certain.
At least for the 2D ones. Like, that's probably going to get a little bit more complex as they go on, like, as you reach, like 7, 9, and especially 10. Like, you don't want to do that.
But I only care. I only care to decrease it for the 2D ones because I think that the 3D ones aren't as egregious.
No, they're not. And I think some of the later 2D ones also get less egregious. And they also find ways to offer a reward, like blue magic systems and just more like you get to see your characters grow, right? Like as you level up, I don't know, Geomancer or something, or as you enter new areas with Geomancy, you can use new abilities and stuff like that in 3, which is going to make it slightly more interesting. But in 2 and 1, it really is just charge headfirst into basically the same enemies over and over again. But I think there's only 9 floors of this place, and we're on floor 8, so...
I guess while we're waiting then, what's the strategy for the Emperor?
Okay, let me have a look. Oh, there's only 8 floors. Oh, wait. Yes. That differs across versions, so I'm not going to say that. But, the Emperor's... Physical text better say okay. That's true. Oh, Christ. So he heals when he attacks you like Astaroth did.
Do items work on it?
Apparently, emphasize evasion if you have the Genji equipment, put that on. Use blink as much as you can. You know, keep blink maintained. Use berserk and haste a lot. Blood sword. Put blood sword on. Yeah, that would kill him in 16 hits, right? So yeah. Yeah, we gotta get blood sword on Elia. Yeah, and you might. I think you're gonna be busy buffing, but you could always use some Osmos to steal mana from him. That might help as well.
Ooh, do I go for a slightly weaker sword, but with more evasion? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, because most of the damage will be coming from the blood sword anyway. God, the Emperor's Soul of Rebirth sprite is so cool. Like the heaven one.
Remind me to equip the blood sword. I don't want to. It's gonna be slow us down for the next little bit, but I want us to. Well, remind me to equip it when we get closer to the Emperor. Chat, I'm also relying on you.
Yes. Save us, chat, because I will like think. Oh, I don't know if this is the point or later or. Every 5 seconds, I will just say, blood sword. Blood sword. Blood sword.
God damn it!
Oh, blood sword? So yeah, this floor is the floor that the Emperor's on apparently, but that might also just be in a different version. So it's either 8 or 10, and we're on 8 right now.
It says 9th for me.
Okay, so it will be 10 then, I assume.
Yeah. Okay, we need to go up and around.
Man, it would be great to have repels. Actually, you are correct in that regard. Okay, well the self-destructs don't do nearly as much damage as I thought they did.
Usually they're more dangerous. So.
Yeah, I feel like in other games they've historically been more dangerous.
I'm terrified to even open that chest, to open any chests.
It could be Beelzebub if you do. There is also another Astaroth style boss out here.
Yeah. I'm not fucking with that.
That's fair. Phew. I think one weakness. So I like recolors. I'm a Digimon fan, so I like the odd recolor. But the monster variation in these games is quite low.
I mean, it's actually, to me, somewhat surprising that they have as much as they do with you think about the memory limitations that they had.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Speaking in that regard, yeah, it's impressive. But from like a modern games regard, I do feel it a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just want to level up.
Yeah.
Just a little bit.
Smart.
That for a second. I'm gonna check chat. Nope, never knew. We've lost them all, Naneri. It's just me and you.
They've been killed by Astaroth. They saw his lavacious cum gutters and they were tempted away.
Oh, that term refuses to die.
I refuse to let it die.
Okay. Oh, Issa's hands leveled up. Issa's throwing hands.
Okay. Why is Issa's hand leveling up? Does he not have any weapons?
No, because he only has shields.
Oh.
And leveling up shields isn't a thing.
Okay. So he's just there to throw out like elixirs and stuff, is he? Okay.
Pretty much. He's literally our item caddy. When I said he was our item caddy, I was not kidding.
Okay, alright. Fair, fair. Well, at least we're less scared of King Behemoth now.
Yeah. Well, we know they're little bitches, then we don't have to worry. I love that everything's scary visually up until you actually experience its stats.
Yeah, well that's true. And like Astaroth, well then again, it was very striking, right? So maybe, yeah, okay. I think we're...
This is the last one.
Yeah.
The bottom left.
Wow, you know what that room reminds me of? You know the room in Black Rock Depths? Is it the one that with all with the torches that you have to light, the big pyres?
Yes.
Yeah, that one sucks with the new loot. Well, not even new. With the last like 10 years loot rules.
God, it's been so long since I played.
I kind of get in the craving, but I will resist. I will resist. Yeah. I'm not giving them money.
I mean, like, that's the sort of thing that, yeah, like, even if I was, it's the sort of thing where I would want to have to play with, like, team members or something, because I would have to go experience it socially.
Yeah, we'd have to do, like, we'd have to play it together.
That'd be fun. Us doing a dungeon, that'd be fun.
It would be. I'm not very good at the game, but, okay, Bloodsoul.
Well, but I just realized all the people in our development and moderation team are... Did you just say Bloodsoul? Are all, are all WoW vets.
Yeah.
Every one of us. Where is it?
Oh god, please. Oh, phew. I was panicking. Okay, guys, are we ready? Are we ready to kill the Emperor?
Who's ready to kill David Bowie?
I believe in this. I think the Bloodsoul's really going to win us here. We just basically need to keep Elio alive. And then also people to keep Elio alive, so I guess that's a redundant statement.
Good to know it's all about me.
It is. It is.
I can't say it, right? Yeah. Okay, guys. Who's ready? Shall we then?
Let's do this shit. Why does this floor need to have random encounters? Why does the final floor of the game need to have random encounters?
Let us have a moment of like decorum of a vibe as we walk into our final fight.
Okay, thank God.
Let's do it.
You have braved the bowels of hell to reach me. But the hand of man, which deals in false justice and forsaken love, can never hope to defeat the Lord Master of Hell. But actually...
Also, if you look at the crystals...
Oh, yeah.
The crystals and stuff, this looks kind of like the Aetioscope.
Yeah, it does.
So... Okay.
I like his snake hat. This music slaps.
Helm? Okay, what did you say what affects him? What things affects him?
Oh,
like sleep and stuff affect him?
Hold on. I didn't note that. Let me check. But I think so, yeah. Let me just have a look.
Did you just notice something about the blood sword?
What?
It heals Elio for 999 too.
Oh, nice. Okay, I fuck with that. Okay, so he resists most things, it seems,
Okay.
and he absorbs death. Oh my god, the element system. Oh,
Well, he's dead.
okay, that was okay. That's a little anticlimactic, I won't deny. But okay. Unbelievable. Defeated by insects like you, not once, but twice.
I'm pretty sure he's the insect after that bitch ass fight.
Right? Who are you? Ah! I hurt my throat.
Thanks for the GG, Greg.
Yeah, we really earned that one. Jesus Christ. Blood sword indeed.
It is done. Now let's get out of here.
Well, Astaroth was way harder than that.
Yeah, I was gonna say Astaroth's effectively our final boss.
Yeah.
Dude, if there's not a crystal like throne, that thing in the final tier for Pandemonium, I'm gonna be sad.
Right? It's finally over, isn't it? It was a long struggle, but with the Emperor gone, we've nothing left to fear.
Hey Mango, good to see you, glad to have you. And we just killed the Emperor in 2 hits, and not even from being over leveled. After like being like prepping ourselves and getting all ready to fight like for like long drawn out battle. And then he went down like a bitch.
He did. Thank you. With all my heart, I thank you.
I don't mean to swear, just like in a general sense, but literally I have no other term to describe how little effort he put up in not going down.
Yeah, that was easy. With the combined strength of Kashwan and Finn, we will build the kingdom anew, I guess. Together, princess, we will create a kingdom even less poserish than the old. Though once a coward, I now stand here a new emo. I have all of you to thank for that. You have my deepest gratitude, and this CD of Blood on the Dance Floor. I'm sure Scott is smiling down on me from on above.
There's a lot of heaven and hell in here.
Yeah, kind of Catholic-y, right? Who voiced Paul?
Look at you! Do you even realize what you've done? Who am I supposed to steal from when the Empire's gone? You put me out of a job! I guess I'll just have to start stealing from you. Better watch your backs.
Wait, did this guy just sum up our Limsa Lotto?
I was just thinking the exact same thing.
You sure showed him, Elio. You're every bit the bloke I pegged you for. Oh, oh.
Don't you get excited because she's threatening to peg you.
Oh. She's threatening to peg you. If you ever feel like trying your hand at pirating. What? That not set well with you, Niniri? No, I love pegging. Do it. Haha! Looks like your next battle's already begun, Elio. Oh my god, and yeah, did I sound like Chills when I did Scott? Number 5, Burger King Emperor. Who the fuck's Nelly?
Did it! I'm sure my dad's happy for you too, up there above the clouds. What's with all this?
Oh my god, it's...
I'm going to be working here, serving the princess. Because I'm stuck in this monarchy with no other options outside of this venue.
Yeah, this
I just
doesn't
want to
feel
do
like
whatever
a
I
good...
can to help out.
This doesn't... What?
What?
Joseph?
What? Joseph? Wait. We can't leave on the note of this girl being haunted by her dead father. And it can't be the note they're actually ending on.
I can't believe that her happy ending is she's a servant. We must now dedicate ourselves to the task of restoring what was lost. An entrenched feudal system in which the underclasses have to serve me. Farewell. Words cannot express my gratitude to you all. Oh, okay. bye, I guess.
War finally over. Yes.
We can all live in peace together again, together.
Yeah.
Right, Issa?
There can be no going back. Not for all of us.
But why? Was it the war crimes? Don't go! Ellie will stop him!
What do you want me to do about it? Naniri, he says, right. We've been through too much. I can't stop him. Not now. Issa! We will meet again.
Okay.
What is with the ghosts?
Oh, hi, Joseph. You left your daughter alone for a sec there, huh?
Well, we should be going too. This is only the beginning.
Well, it's
Little
not.
did they know
No,
that was
you
the
didn't.
end.
You didn't make a sequel, so.
Their long struggle was finally at an end. The Emperor, Pandemonium. The monsters plaguing the world. And all had vanished without a trace. Peace had returned once more. The wounds of the war would mend. And the memory of those bitter days would fade. Man, expectations for narrative storytelling in games has improved quite a lot, hasn't it?
Oh yeah. Oh my god. Oh yeah, it has.
But one thing would never be forgotten. That band of young heroes who once saved the world.
Wait, why? Why did killing the Emperor stop monsters? Like they're not like. Most of them were wild animals.
To the fans across the globe, both past and present, and to the crew who brought the originals to life, we offer our profound and heartfelt thanks.
Well, here to that. I mean, you know, they did develop the legacy we
Oh,
love.
whoa,
nowadays.
whoa, yo,
Oh.
this is a Timeless Expanse.
Yeah,
this
it
is.
is.
The
But didn't we have this in the credits for FF1 as well? I think this is a Pixel remaster.
yeah,
thing.
but it's interesting that it's for both.
Yeah, I think it's Pixel remaster, right? It's gonna be their signature.
Do you think it came about because of 14?
No.
Do you think it's now like 14's become like that? Well, I mean, it's like so specific. Unless we got used in something else.
No, wait. Does 14 predate the Pixel remaster?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay, maybe then, yeah.
The Pixel remasters are new.
Oh, yeah, they are, aren't they? Okay, yeah. That
They
would make
are-
some sense then. Oh, yeah, it would make sense.
Yeah, 2022.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah, most certainly then.
Oh, it's starting in summer 2021, but yeah,
Yeah, basically.
Shadowbringers predates them. So this
Yeah.
predates them.
Okay. Yeah, okay, that would make sense then.
Well, we did it, guys. We
yeah.
finished FF2.
And we're slowly
That
getting
was,
into the better ones.
Yeah, so better than FF1?
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like better in every way, except for the fact that because it's longer, the things that are bad
Yeah,
take longer.
maybe it overstays its welcome a tiny bit.
Yeah.
My thoughts are, it has a surprising amount. So when we finished FF1, I said it had more than I remembered it having to offer. In some ways, yeah, we're gonna go in order, Mango. But FF2 really feels like it's crying out for a remake. There's a lot of meat on these bones.
Yep.
It's not well fleshed out, but it's there, and it could be. Yeah,
But it could be.
yeah. It
Like
could
the relationship with Issa and him becoming the Dark Knight and stuff, like could be a really good tragedy. The like the loss of companions and stuff. Like there is a good story to be told here, even if it's a relatively simple one.
be. Yeah, I think maybe they change one of the deaths to an injury. I don't think that they need that many deaths. I think it overstays the concept of companion death, but keep most of them. Just
I feel like it could be okay though, as long as they like meaningfully connect you to those characters like more powerfully, and also make it feel like okay, hey, like make almost thematically the feeling of losing people along the way a burden that the
Yeah.
characters are bearing.
You would have to really weave it into the themes to make it feel worthwhile, I guess, which you could do. Yeah, no, I definitely don't want to see I really specifically don't want to see a oh god, what's it called? The one remake that isn't a remake.
Stranger Paradise?
Yeah.
I don't want to... Stranger Paradise treatment... Look, I'm not saying I hate Stranger Paradise, but that is not the treatment I want for a remake of any of them.
No, I think 2 has the ground to build on that you don't need to do that. I think there is a game
Just
here.
play it straight.
Yeah.
FF2 and 5 are the ones usually glossed over. Well, that's probably because in the West, for the longest time, 2 and 5 weren't around. You had 1, 4, and 6 were 1, 2, and 3 when they first came stateside, right?
Yeah.
It was 2 and 5 that got dropped.
Yeah.
And then, so what happened is in the States, it wasn't until the 2000s that anyone really even ended up playing 2 or 5 that much, and that they had a presence whatsoever. And so I feel like in the Western concept, like consciousness, like 2 and 5 are not as remembered.
Here's my opinion.
Or wait, it was 1, 4, and 6, I think, right?
Yeah, it was 1, 4, and 6. So I think 2 was and is overlooked. I think 5 was, but is less and less overlooked. People are looking to 5 now. People are hyping up 5 more and more.
Yeah.
So we both gave FF1 a D grade last time. What are we going to give FF2?
I say it's C.
I'm thinking D+.
C minus.
Yeah, maybe C minus. Maybe C minus.
I think C minus because I think it's got a narrative, right? It actually has a narrative, unlike 1, and it is trying things. It's got like the system for conversation, which isn't good, but it's trying things and it's expanding. I think it may. While it's not perfect, I definitely think a C minus is. I think stepping it up at least a letter grade is worthwhile. Is.
Yeah, I think that's fair. Okay, C minus. I'm putting for mine. I'll put for yours as well.
Okay. JRPG or Super Nintendo Final Fantasy. I just want to check that I'm about the.
I will say
Was it like one...
Oh no, go.
I was just say, like, did 1 come out on Famicom in Japan? Yeah, 1 came out in North America in 1990. Super Nintendo also featured installments of the series. 4 was released as 2. 5 was released in Japan. So, yeah, no, we were right. Yeah, 6 was... For some reason, 3 and 4 were never... Or 3, 5, and 2 were never released.
Okay. Mango, I wouldn't say that 5 is an improvement over 4. In some ways, yes, but in other ways, no. I would put it on about an even keel with 4, because 4 is really good.
The thing I would say is that bar 6, but I would even say it rivals 6, 4 is the first one that has like a really end-to-end complete story with character arcs that don't feel like they're sometimes 60% missing. Like 4, I think, is the first time that they really nailed what became the Final Fantasy formula for quite a bit there. I mean, not even formula, because even then it's like it still ends up evolving constantly. But 3 is like more narrative, but still also kind of not. But also it's got a really much more interesting job system and stuff. So there's like a huge evolution there. 5 has more character. Like if 5 takes the best parts of 4 and 3. In the terms of narrative storytelling and like job and mechanics and stuff, and tries to synthesize them, and the level to which it does that, your mileage may vary, but
I think maybe it loses little elements of both in the process, but it does produce something of value just in the synthesis. So I would say 4 and 5 I would rate about the same now, but I'm ready for that to change possibly as we play through it again. I would put 6 as my favorite of the 2Ds, but 4 is close behind.
I'm ready to change my mind about 6 because I never fell in love. Not that I don't think 6 is excellent and not probably the best, but like I never fell in love with it, and I'm hoping I might this time because it's been 20 years since I played it.
Yeah.
Because the only one I ever fell in love with of the first 6 was 4.
Yeah, and
4 is my personal favorite.
We're gonna do after years, right? We're not gonna do the inter-year thing though, are we? Because I think that's only available on like flip phones.
No, I think we'll be good doing it after years. The other thing is that next time we're starting 3. 3 is going to be the first one that really is hyper relevant to 14 players.
Yes.
There's a lot of 3 in 14.
There is, especially in ARR.
Yeah, whereas with 2, it's been like chocobos, the beavers,
and even then,
pandemonium.
so much of 14's chocobos is more rooted in like 5's impersonation than.
Right. Yeah, only just that technically they start here, but they're very nascent. So the first 2 have not been huge. Like obviously there's been references and points, right? Dude, what if a version of the Emperor is the final fight in the final tier for Pandemonium? Oh.
Yeah, I'm thinking because it's a transformative process for the Emperor. I'm thinking that you could slap that concept and elements of that design onto whatever direction you want to go with the final boss there.
Athena.
Yeah, Athena. Athena could be that, and then second phase could be the heaven version or whatever. Like it just makes sense.
Yeah. I love that idea. I love that idea a lot. Okay.
I'm gonna.
I guess Sorry, what's up?
I'm gonna predict that I'm gonna give FF3 a C.
I'm thinking I might give it a C+, which I'm noticing a distinct charitable. I'm more charitable than you.
We usually meet in the middle, so it can have a C and a half plus.
Isn't that just a C minus? Isn't half a plus a minus?
Oh yeah. No, it's a horizontal line. No, vertical line.
It's an ICI.
Yeah, it's a CI.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna be interested to see these first 6, and I'm also gonna be interested like what's the first A rank one, you know?
Is it gonna be 7?
I don't think 7's an A. I think 7 has a lot of struggles and a lot of problems.
It does. That
it's held down some, but like I think 7's excellent. I know why it became so important, but
it might be 9 then for me. I'm pretty confident that 9 will be an A for me.
I'm hoping I'll be convinced to make 9 an A. I mean 10 we all know, but
oh yeah, 10's pretty comfortably at least going to be an A minus.
And we have finished it, and we will get ready to sign off here. Usual things, if you're not a member of the Discord, you can definitely go join our community there. If you like lore for 14, you can go check out our website, eorzeanarchives.com, or watch our YouTube videos as well. We do a lot of good stuff there. If you want to support us, you can support us over on Patreon, where you can get your name in the banner above my head, as well as give us super chats, or in order to fund goals, like getting Miri a little chibi statue of themselves. You can also get Archon status here by paying $1 and getting access to all sorts of fun emotes. But yeah, I guess that's the wind up for today. Thanks so much for hanging out, guys. I look forward to getting 3 started next week.
Yes, I absolutely am as well. I love job systems, so it's gonna go well for me.
Okay. Well then, Naniri, the war has ended. The Emperor is dead. David Bowie is once more amongst the stars. And since it's a YouTuber, we're contractually obligated to say like and share. And B's not here, so they can't tell me to say don't lick the like button. So y'all should definitely. Okay, you don't like. So you just like take your phone. And just like.
Yeah, I've liked it. You should too. No, I'm really joking. Like it though. Seriously, nobody.
Right. Yeah. Thank you. So, Naniri, anything you want to plug, or anything you're looking forward to?
I'm looking forward to 9. I'm looking forward to 6. I'm looking forward to 7. I'm looking forward to see if my opinions changes on 8. Because I'm
curious if your opinion will change on, or not change, but I'm curious if our opinions will increase on 13, or if at the very least I feel like I can defend it in the interesting ways, in some of its interesting ways.
So I've always felt very conflicted. I quite like 13, but I recognize that it does quite a lot of things wrong. I'm wondering if I'll find more good in it, or if I'll just be like burned out by the first section.
That's what I'm excited to. And I don't know about you, but I'm kind of mixed on this whole 14 thing. I'm not sure about MMOs.
Oh, yeah, I don't know about that one. I hear someone's playing it, though. Like, they're doing a live stream version of it, and it's pretty good, so...
Speaking of, if you want to join us for live streaming the MSQ for 14, we do that every Monday and Tuesday over on the main channel. Well, this channel. And new videos every Wednesday. So, yeah.
Hell yeah.
I think we're gonna go head out there. So I've been Elliot Forcheron.
And I've been Neri Neri.
And I hope you all have a wonderful day. Cheers, everybody.
Cheers. Bye-bye.
Oh my god, has my face been this bright the whole time? Oh my god.
Oh, yeah.
I look like the sun is bouncing. Oh, lordy. I must have... Oh, I didn't turn back. Oh my god, I forgot to turn back on. Not light functioning. Oh, lord.